It is an early afternoon showdown here in Game 3 of 3 between the Florence Y'alls and the Evansville Otters. The Otters are looking for a sweep today in the weekend series against the Y'alls. They won yesterday 8-5. They scored 4 in the 5th and 4 in the bottom of the 8th on two-run singles from LG Castillo and TJ Salvaggio in order to get the victory, with Serta getting his 18th save of the season. Just one behind Aiden McAvoy as well for the Frontier League lead. As we enter inside the broadcast booth, hey, how we doing? It's a little bit earlier than usual here on this Sunday afternoon, but the two guys behind me, just mentioned them previously, LG Castillo and TJ Salvaggio, combined to drive in 7 of the 8 runs yesterday. Salvaggio drove in 5, which is his new season high. He had a 3-run homer, and then his 2-run single in the 8th inning got the Otters some insurance to make it 8-5, and that's what the score would end in Game 2. Can't forget to mention Amani Jones's home run as well, which was the 8th run that was driven in. His home run, also his 100th professional hit. So big congrats to Amani on the big milestone. But today, it's a new day, and the Otters are looking to get a sweep here. They have 2 sweeps already this month, one to Joliet and one against Gateway. But this would be the first time that the Otters have swept a team twice this season. In Florence, as mentioned, they swept them on opening weekend with the no-hitter and the 2 walk-offs. Now looking to do it here again in late August. They are already now 4.5 games up in the first wild card, and the magic number is down to 6. 6! So they can clinch as early still as Wednesday against Schaumburg. And they need a win here and a Windy City loss, or else the earliest they can clinch is Thursday at Schaumburg. The days keep moving back, but we're getting ever so close to being able to clinch a playoff spot, and know for a fact that we're going to be one of the 8 teams that's playing into mid-September. But the pitching matchup for today, it's Evan Webster pitching for Florence. He's been a very big part of their rotation. He has pitched 102 2/3 innings this season, which is one of the highest in the Frontier League. So he's getting another start here on Sunday. And on the other side for Evansville, it's Yohan Gonzalez getting the start, as he is making his 2nd appearance of the season. But overall, has pitched a lot with the Otters between last season and now this year. More lineup switches, though, for the Otters, as Amani Jones still leading off, but Marcos Gonzalez hitting 2nd for the first time this season. Blake Robertson is hitting 3rd for the first time this season, and Chris Quitzer is hitting 5th for the first time this season. So a lot of firsts in the lineup today for Evansville, but they can still clinch as early as Wednesday. On the other side for Florence, their magic number is down to 11. They lost yesterday, it was at 12, but Windy City's loss dropped the magic number for both teams. But Florence is trying to get a game back here and at least get 3.5 games behind Evansville. They're in 3rd place right now, and they're still 14 games over 500. It's been a very, very dominant Central Division from these 3 teams. Lake Erie, though, has already been eliminated from playoff contention. Yesterday, we had another elimination. Another team off the map. Trois Rivières got eliminated from playoff contention yesterday. 31-58 right now. They lost a doubleheader, both games against Down East. And Down East is making a little bit of a run. They are now 5 games back. They've won 5 straight games, and they're in 3rd place. They just passed Sussex. And I'm not too sure if they're going to be too big in terms of the division race, but the wild card race could get interesting in the Atlantic Conference. For the West, though, Schaumburg and Windy City both ended up losing their games. So Schaumburg still 2 games up on the Thunderbolts. The Gateway, Joliet still hanging on by a thread. Joliet could actually be eliminated today, as well as Tri-City. Zach Westcott and Billy Easley, the 2 for the mound visit. Andy McCauley's been tossed in both games in this series already, so not too surprised that he's not going out there. We'll see if he gets thrown out in all 3 games. That would definitely be a first. But the 2 other times that he's been thrown out in this series, the Otters have come out and won the game. So maybe a good omen. Take a look at the umpires, though. Jalen Jarvis is behind the plate today with Caleb Groom at first base, the crew chief, and Dalton James at 3rd. It has been a very fun season so far and has resulted in 55 wins. So not only on Wednesday, they could clinch a playoff spot, they could also clinch the most wins in a season in franchise history with 58. They've done 57 three times, 2021, 2019, and 2014, never 58. And they have a chance to get 58 wins within the 96 games category. We're on game 90, so they just got to win 3 of the next 5, and you won't have to have that conversation to be like, oh, the franchise record was set in a 102-game season. They did it within the 96 games. Still be the same, but still, either way, it's looking very likely that the Otters are going to win 3 of their next 12 games and break that record, especially with how they've been performing so far. They've won 10 of their last 12 games. Yesterday, they only had 5 hits. They got out hit 10-5 yesterday and still won 8-5 in terms of the runs column. As mentioned, it was LG Castillo, Amani Jones, and TJ Salvaggio that did a lot of the good hitting. But Colby Morse on the pitching side got his 5th quality start out of 7 starts this season as he continues his dominance to start his professional career. Chase Cribble threw an inning, gave up a run. Alex Valdez also gave up a run, but struck out 2. Junior Serta got the save. John Gerard had a no-hitter through 4 innings and then ended up giving up 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. And all of a sudden was in line for the loss, but it was a back-and-forth affair. Chris Barraza gave up 4 runs, 3 earned in the bottom of the 8th inning and ended up with the loss given to him, as he's been struggling so far to start with Florence. There's more guys, some guys that we haven't even seen in the bullpen for both teams. For Evansville, we still haven't seen Zenko Thebe, Nate Wolgamuth. For Florence, we haven't seen Aiden McAvoy. He's the closer. They haven't been in a save situation yet. And we also haven't seen Danny Heinz. But we will take you to the national anthem before first pitch here in Game 3 as the Otters try to sweep the Florence Y'alls on this fantastic Sunday afternoon. We'll be right back on the Otters Digital Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America's freedom? Those who now protect it pay tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice with the singing of our national anthem this afternoon, being performed by Kaylin Schwartz.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Today's paintball is delivered to you by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
And to say those 2 words that start every single Otters game, I've got Lincoln, I got Tucker, I got Big Frank. What do we say?
Ready to go for Game 3 of 3 here at EVSC's historic Bosse Field. Yohan Gonzalez making his first home start of the season. He threw 4 scoreless innings at Washington earlier this week. 4 scoreless with 7 strikeouts as well and 2 walks. Ended up giving the Otters a 4-1 victory. He didn't end up getting the win because he didn't go 5 innings in order to qualify, but we know how good he was. We know how good he was, and that was against a good Washington squad. But this is a possibly even better offensive unit in Florence. So we'll see how Gonzalez does here against the Yalls. We'll take a look at their lineup. It's Cole Brandon leading it off yet again. Blomquist behind him. Hank Zeisler at first base with Zade Richardson doing the DHing in the cleanup spot. Brendan Bobo's in right field. Garrett Broussard at third. And it is Brodell, Baker, and Harbison. Brodell back in the lineup in left field as Milo Rushford is getting the day off today. But mostly the top 6 is the same old, same old. Same with the Otters for the most part. Monty Jones, Marcos Gonzalez, Blake Robertson, LG Castillo. The top 4, Logan Brown getting the day off, so everybody moves up one spot in the lineup. Quitzer's hitting 5th for the first time. Lynn Scott is in center field hitting 6th. Mark Black is in right field hitting 7th. And then it's Cade Marcourt and TJ Salvaggio. As Cole Brandon steps to the dish here, we're getting ready for game 3 of 3. This is the 4th to last regular season home game for the Otters. They have 3 more against Lake Erie next weekend, and then that's all we have here at Bosse Field for the regular season. Now, obviously, we're going to hopefully host a playoff game. We clinch. That's confirmed. Still waiting on seeding, but we would at least host one playoff game. Quickly 0-2 as Brandon fouls one off. 232 average in August so far for Cole Brandon, 13 for 56. He has 6 doubles, a homer, 10 RBIs, as well as 13 walks and 15 strikeouts. It's always a nice little calm vibe on a Sunday afternoon game. There's a pop-up into foul territory. Marcos Gonzalez will make the catch, and that's out number 1. Let's take a look at the defense here for Evansville. It's Quitzer in left field with Lynn Scott in center. Mark Black in right. Third to first, Marcos Gonzalez, TJ Salvaggio, Amani Jones, and Blake Robertson with Cade Marcourt doing the catching for Yohan Gonzalez. Blomquist up next. First pitch misses a little high. Blomquist extending his hitting streak yesterday. It is now at 11 games. So that one is fouled away. Robertson almost had space, just falls out. Hit that very liminal space in between the field and the roof. Right on the first row of that concourse. Makes it 1-1. 1 for 5 with 2 strikeouts for Blomquist. He now has a strikeout in each of his last 14 games. Let the 11-game hitting streak suffice for him. Hitting at a .332. Little low. 26 multi-hit games this season. He has 16 home runs, 66 RBIs. 2-1. Inside, straightens him up a bit, and it's 3-1. Gonzalez did have 2 walks in his last outing against Washington. .3-1 is another one inside, and that's ball 4. As taking the walk is Blomquist, first base runner of the day. That'll bring up Hank Zeisler.
At first base, 13, Hank Zeisler.
Well, Zeisler did a lot for Florence yesterday in terms of run scoring, run producing, and all was for naught as the Otters ended up winning 8-5. He went 4 for 5 yesterday, hit a double and 2 homers in the 8-5 loss. He's now up to 23 home runs on the year, 89 RBIs. Scored twice, as that one misses. The 2 times he scored, but it ended up breaking the single-season Florence record for most runs scored in a season. So another record being broken by Zeisler. Seems as though he's got every Florence record. 1-0 is called a strike. Zeisler is 26th double, also putting him ahead of Brendan Bobo for the team lead. was his second 4-hit game of the season. He has a 5-hit game, though. Fouled back to the netting. His other 4-hit game is actually earlier this month, August 8th against Brockton. He went 4 for 5, hit a double, a homer, and drove in 2 runs. I'll say this performance is a little bit better because he hit 2 homers. But he had a 5 for 7 on June 13th against Gateway. It's one of the few 5-hit games. Florence has the only 6-hit game of the season from anybody in the Frontier League. That belongs to Garrett Broussard, who we'll see later on. 1-2. That one's going to get past Marcourt. Taking second base is Blomquist. Now, Marcourt had some issues with the balls getting past him yet in his last start back on Friday. A 2-2 now to Zeisler as that one missed just inside. Good amount of afternoon games going on today in the Frontier League. Usually the Sunday's the getaway day. And Florence is definitely going to get back at a reasonable hour after this one. Inside again, and it's 3-2. Especially the drive to Florence only about 3 hours. Just go through Louisville and you're there pretty much. Learned that Mississippi had to fly to Ottawa for their 6-game series. Flew out of New Orleans, which is probably for the best considering that drive would have taken forever. That will just miss inside, and taking the walk is Zeisler. Back-to-back walks for Blomquist and Zeisler. Max Peterson's going to come out, and I'm sure have some words for Jalen Jarvis on his way to the mound. 2 on here with 1 out. Quick mound visit as Zade Richardson will come to the plate here in the top of the first inning. Zade Richardson didn't think he was going to be in the lineup today, just due to the fact that he got pinch ran for. It looked like he was kind of limping coming off of the field. I guess he feels fine today to go for another one. He's back in the cleanup spot here. Now has 2 on with 1 out to try and bring in that first run for Florence. Richardson 1 for 4 yesterday with a strikeout, sitting 336 now in 71 games. First pitch misses low and away for ball 1. Richardson hitting .397 with runners in scoring position. So that one is outside for ball 2. At .397, the highest average on the team, 27 for 68. 2-0 is called a strike, and it's 2-1. Richardson coming off a back-to-back 1 for 4 performances. Mom, 2-1. Fouled back to the netting, and it's 2-2. Richardson, 25 years old. He's from New Richmond, Ohio. It is southeast of Cincinnati on the Ohio River. So I guess technically Florence is a hometown team? Technically, maybe? I don't know. 3-2. Walk would load the bases for Bobo. Both runners are going to go here, and that is strike 3. Richardson goes down looking for out number 2, but both runners will take second and third. So runners at second and third with 2 outs now for Brendan Bobo.
Batting fifth in right field, 3, Brendan Bobo.
Now Gonzalez can still get out of this one here, 2 outs, but 2 on in scoring position. Brendan Bobo has 69 RBIs this season. 0 for 3, though, with a walk and a strikeout yesterday. First pitch breaking ball called a strike. Well, for Zeisler, he's now 15 for 15 on stolen bases. And Blomquist now 6 for 6. So both those guys stay perfect in terms of the steals. 0-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. So quickly down 0-2 is Bobo. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Still hitting at a .316, but has 10 strikeouts as well. Gonzalez is 0-2. Ground ball up the middle into center field for a base hit. That will bring in both runs. And Brendan Bobo puts Florence on top 2-0 in the top of the first inning. The first earned runs given up by Gonzalez this season, as both Blomquist and Zeisler come in to score. Brendan Bobo now 71 RBIs this season, and he drives in multiple runs for the 4th time in 5 games. Mentioned Garrett Broussard had the 6-hit game, the only one in the Frontier League this season. That was back on May 29th against Schaumburg. 6 for 6, hit 3 doubles and homered as well. Drove in 3 runs. Yesterday, though, he went 1 for 4 with a strikeout. He's hitting at a .283. Bobo now on first in the 0-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. From Yoan. Throw back to first is not in time. Bobo, 7 for 7 on stolen bases. This is a Florence team that doesn't steal too often, but they do not get caught. 123 stolen bases. I guess 125 now. 7th in the Frontier League. They've gotten caught 20 times. Just 20. 17th out of 18 teams in the caught stealing category. So they know when to steal, and they know how to steal bases with efficiency. Throw to second base is dropped by Jones, and Bobo will stay perfect. Not a 21st caught stealing there as he takes second base. Stolen base number 8 for Bobo. Now he's in a scoring position with 2 outs. And a 2-2 now coming to Garrett Broussard. So already 3 stolen bases today for Florence just in the first inning. 2-2. There's a ground ball over to short. Throw to first from Salvaggio is out number 3. And that'll do it for the top of the first inning. Brendan Bobo, just like he did in game 1, drives in a run or 2 in the first inning. 2-0 Florence. As we will head to the bottom of the first on the Otters Digital Network.
Uh-oh, Otters fans, it sounds like we got a piece of vanity EBS East stored across the field tonight. Evan has himself a Toronto's pizza, but it's not his. Make some noise if you want it to be your pizza. He made it far this time. It looks like he found somebody could grab and enjoy the pizza from our friends at Toronto's. Today's pitcher catcher battery for the Florence Y'alls. Evan Webster's on the mound. Kyle Harbison behind the plate. Pitcher catcher battery powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East. 2319 North Hanover Road, give them a call at 812-475-9000. Tell them it's St. from the Otters and you.
First innings brought to you by the Mesker Park Zoo and Botanical Gardens. Visit the Mesker Park Zoo at 1545 Mesker Park Drive in Evansville, Indiana. Starter for Florence is Evan Webster. He has been pitching a lot for Florence this season. A 4.82 ERA, 102 2/3 innings. Has 30 walks, 80 strikeouts. Has given up a decent amount of hits, 112. His whip at a 1.38. Earned the win in his last start after throwing 7 innings. only giving up 2 runs, one of them earned in the win against the Crushers, making his record now at a 10-6. As he's kind of like the Hank Zeisler of the pitching. We'll take a look at the defense first for Florence. Brodell is in left field. Brandon's in center. Brendan Bobo in right. Third to first, Garrett Broussard, Dylan Baker, Brett Blomquist, and Hank Zeisler, with Kyle Harbison doing the catching for Webster. Monty Jones leading it off at yet again the Edward Jones leadoff batter of the day. I say Webster is kind of the Zeisler of the pitching because he leads the pitching staff in every sort of category except for saves and wild pitches. Just because he pitches so much as a team in strikeouts, wins, and losses. He's getting the decision in a lot of his starts, as the first pitch was called a strike. Now the 0-1. That one is called a strike as well, and it's 0-2 to Jones. He got his 100th professional hit with a home run that put the Otters on top 4-3 in the 5th inning yesterday. Overall, his day ended with a 1-for-5. That home run, though, his 6th of the season. 0-2. Outside. It's another lefty that the Otters are facing off against, as they were struggling early against John Girard yesterday before they put up 4 runs in the 5th inning. They were getting no hit through the first 4. Swing and a miss in that strike 3. Monty Jones goes down swinging for out number 1. First strikeout for Webster. And that will bring up Marcos Gonzalez.
Batting second, the third baseman, number 2, Marcos Gonzalez.
Gonzalez 0 for 3, a rare hitless game for him. That was a hit in 25 of 33 since the All-Star break. He's hitting .315, though, in August. First pitch called a strike. 0-1. He did go around on a little bit of a half swing there, and it's 0-2. Webster trying to get through this rather quickly. We saw John Girard yesterday. He was pitching incredibly fast. A little slower for Webster, but still not necessarily the slowest. 0-2 is outside. Gonzalez, 4 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, 17 RBIs in August. Also, 10 of his 36 walks have come in August. That is just outside, and it's 2-2. So far in this series, he's 2 for 7. Has scored 4 times, though, including scoring the go-ahead run yesterday. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 3. Gonzalez goes down swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts to start this outing for Webster. And that'll bring up the first lefty, Blake Robertson.
Number 31, Blake Robertson.
Only 2 lefties in the lineup against the lefty starter and Webster. It's Robertson and Quitzer, as Logan Brown and Blake Barthol both getting the day off today. First pitch is called a strike, right at the higher half of the zone, and it's 0-1. Robertson 0 for 3 yesterday. Fastball outside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. LG hitting 4th today. 1-1. Opposite field fly ball into left field. That will fall just foul, and it's 1-2. Almost had himself an opposite field double, but just lands left of the line out there in left field. So we'll do it again, this time at 1-2. As Webster tries to get a 1-2-3 first inning here, keep the lead intact for Florence. Webster kicks and fires the 1-2. Just outside. Webster was the opening day starter for Florence. Pitched here on opening day. Was the losing pitcher because the Y'alls got no hit by one Griff Hughes, Nolan Thebe, and Junior Serta. He was on the other side of that. He was the starting pitcher. And didn't necessarily pitch badly either. 2-2 is high and in, and it's a full count. Good at bat here from Robertson. On May 7th, he threw 4 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, gave up a home run, and got the loss, his first of 6. Swing and a miss, and Webster strikes out the side in the first inning. All go down by swinging. Jones, Gonzalez, and Robertson will head to the second inning. 2-0 Florence on the Otters Digital Network.
We've got escaped animals from Mesker Park Zoo and Botanic Gardens in the right field. Good thing we've got some oversized animals to round them up. We've got Abel as our zebra. We've got Parker as our octopus. Whoever grabs the most animals and puts them in their basket wins a pair of tickets to the zoo. Animal wranglers, are you ready? For zebra. Set, go! Zebra's head's flopping around. You got it. All right, they got them all round up. Let's get them counted.
Hey Evansville, if you love the Evansville Otters, wait until you meet the ones at Mesker Park Zoo. Splashing, playing, and way cuter than your buddy in Section G. Yeah, come see us 365 days a year from 9 until 4 p.m. at Mesker Park Zoo.
The ties continues. The tie 5-5.
Top of the second inning, the Yalls lead it 2-0 as they look to avoid getting swept here at Bosse Field. Now, no matter the result, the Otters still find the way to win both series against Washington and Florence. Overall, a successful week. A 4-2, maybe 5-1 weekend is definitely nothing to scoff at. It's hard to sweep these two teams, and Otters didn't do it against Washington. They still won 2 of 3, though, and they're still giving Washington a bit of a run for their money, still 3 games back in the division. And even with the loss here, they'd be 3.5 games up on Florence. High fly ball into shallow right field. Amani Jones is going to call off Mark Black and make the catch for out number 1 as Brodell is retired. Dylan Baker, the 8-hitter, up for the first time today. 1 for 3 yesterday with a run driven in. Hit the RBI single that put Florence up. It was 5-4 in the top of the 8th inning before the Otters scored those 4 runs in the bottom half. First pitch is a little high for ball 1. Dylan Baker, 24-year-old from Tampa. Hitting at a 257 this season, has played pretty much every game with Florence at shortstop. 2-0. The difference between the Yalls and the Otters is that the Yalls usually just kind of put guys in the same spot every single day. You talk about, Hank Zeisler's been at first base for 84 games. 84 games for Broussard at third. 81 games for Dylan Baker at short. 71 for Brendan Bobo in right field. Zade Richardson's been to the DH 66 times. The Otters at least have some guys that have some good consistency in multiple positions, as that's a liner right to Castillo. Still make the catch for out number 2. It is just the dichotomy of things is really weird. Take a look at the Otters side of things. You say Amani Jones has 78 games at second base. Ponder 71. Ponder 68 in center field. But Sam Linscott this is his 21st game in center field. You take a look at right field. Linscott's mostly been there 45 games, but Mark Black and Blake Robertson have combined now for 29 games there. So just a lot more of mixing up in terms of the positioning. Seen Gonzalez play second base a couple times. I've seen LG Castillo play left and right field as well as the DH like he is today. So that's outside for ball one to Harbison. See Blake Robertson playing first base, left and right field. Mark Black playing the outfield a lot. Logan Brown catcher first base. It's mostly just been the same old stuff for Florence. And it's been like that as well in the batting order. This is the 78th game, Zeisler's hitting third. 66th game, Dylan Baker's hitting eighth. That's where everything really gets all mixed up for Evansville. The batting order has shifted quite a lot. So that's called a strike, and it's 2-2. And we talked about it in the pregame. This is the first time Marcos Gonzalez is hitting second. The first time Blake Robertson's hitting third. If you take a look at Blake Robertson, he is hit everywhere except for second and ninth now. He's been switching everywhere. Dennis Pierce has hit everywhere except eighth and ninth. Sam Linscott has hit everywhere except fourth and ninth. It has mostly just been Salvaggio who's been a mainstay in his section of the lineup because he's been doing so well in the 9 spot. 2-2 liner right to third. And that is caught on the fly by Gonzalez for out number 3. So a 1-2-3. Second inning for Yohan Gonzalez keeps things at a 2-0 game. Florence in the lead as we'll head to the bottom half of the second inning on the Otters Digital Network.
It's time to see who gets to upgrade to the Ashley Furniture Home Store best seats in the house. Our lucky winner gets to spend the rest of the game in the best seats in the house. So many great people to choose from, but we are selecting Kristen Hagan. Kristen Hagan, congratulations. You're the winner of the Ashley Furniture Home Store best seats in the house. Come on down and enjoy the view for the rest of the game with your feet kicked up. Kristen Hagan. This is the J.E. Shekel Armor Protection second inning. Founded in 1978, J.E. Shekel is the Tri-State's premier residential, commercial, industrial service and construction company. We have Aaron Hancock from 14 is here at the ballpark today, also making his final visit to this ballpark in Boston Field is Aiden Crowley, our sports authority. Let's give Aiden a big round of applause as he heads to his next adventure.
Second innings brought to you by J.E. Shekel Armor Protection. Founded in 1978, J.E. Shekel is the Tri-State's premier residential, commercial, industrial service and construction company. It is 2-0 Y'alls here in the bottom of the second inning. LG Castillo, Chris Quitzer, and Sam Linscott lead it off after Evan Webster struck out the side in the first inning. Got Jones, Gonzalez, and Robertson all swinging, and he's already up to 3 Ks today. El Castillo drove in the eventual game-winning run in the bottom of the 8th inning. At a 2-run single, scored Marcos Gonzalez and Logan Brown to give the Otters a 6-5 lead. They ended up winning that one 8-5 and taking the series against the Y'alls, which is why a 2-run lead doesn't seem all too insurmountable. You know, they came back from down 3 in that game before they even came back in the 8th. They were down 3-0, scored 4 runs, and scored 4 more in the 8th. That's ripped down the line, foul. Foul ball is brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. And it's 1-1.
Red ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best and never regret it.
Might be a bat broken there as the flip to first from Webster is in time for out number 1. Sounded like the bat broke at least. Kind of got jammed there. And it was just a soft grounder right back to the mound. Chris Quitzer up for the first time today. Quitzer 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts in yesterday's game. He's in a little bit of a slump. 0 for his last 9 with 6 strikeouts. Showed bunt. It was called a strike. Now the 0-1. Just misses high. Quitzer now has multiple strikeouts in 7 of his 17 games. 1-1. Fly ball into foul ground. Running after it is Brodell, and he will not have room. A decent crowd here today for a Sunday. It is a beautiful day outside. It's 80 degrees right now, which is night and day better than the usual 95 and humid we had back in July. 1-2. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 3. So 4th strikeout already for Webster as Quitzer goes down swinging for out number 2. 5 batters Webster's faced off against, and 4 of them have gone down swinging.
Number 5, Sam Linscott.
That'll bring up Sam Linscott for the first time. He's hitting 6th today. Webster has a decent amount of pitches in his arsenal. There's one of them. That's the curveball. He has a fastball, cut, curve, slider, and changeup. Season high in strikeouts this season is 8. He's done that twice. Inside for ball 2. Struck out 8 on June 24th against Gateway and July 12th against Joliet. He also threw his season high in innings. Threw 8 innings against Joliet in that game. Little outside, and it's 3-0 to Linscott. Linscott 1 for 4 in yesterday's game. He has a hit in his last 4. 3-0, taking all the way, and it's called a strike. Webster 10-6 when he pitches. That's his win-loss record overall, 12-6 when he pitches in general. So there's only been 2 starts in which he hasn't been a part of the decision. 3-2. Will miss high for ball 4. So the first base runner of the day for Evansville is a Linscott walk with 2 outs. That'll bring up Mark Black for the first time today. Those 2 starts in which he wasn't involved in the decision, back-to-back starts. July 30th against Joliet, August 5th against Sussex. It's crazy, though, how many times he gets involved in the overall decision in terms of the pitching. First pitch called a strike to Mark Black. Haven't seen Mark Black in a few days. His last game was on the 19th against Washington. Went 0 for 2 with a run driven in on a sac fly, but a walk and a strikeout as well. Has Linscott on first with 2 outs. And the 0-1 from Webster is called a strike, and it's 0-2. 2-0 Florence here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 2 runs on just the 1 hit. The 1 hit was the Bobo single that brought in both Blomquist and Zeisler after back-to-back walks, as well as a double steal. 0-2, a little outside. Linscott on first is 13 for 17 stolen bases, but I feel like we haven't seen him attempt a stolen base in a while. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 3. Evan Webster strikes out 5 in the first 2 innings of work today, as he's already nearing his season high in strikeouts. He's gone 5 of 8. And we will head to the 3rd inning, 2-0 Florence on the Otters Digital Network.
Otters fans, it's time for the Dizzy Bat Home Run Derby. We've got Harper down on the field. She's going to spin around the bat 10 times and hit that ball off that tee into that net. She can check all the boxes. She wins herself some tickets. You ready, Harper? Let's go. Nice Sunday stroll around the bat. Strike 1. Strike 2, one more. One more time, we got it. Eye on the ball. Close enough. Let's hear it for Harper. She gave it a good try. She beat up that poor team. D-Backs, Evansville's premier locally owned indoor baseball and softball training facility. Experience top-notch batting cages, automated pitching machines for baseball, fast pitch and slow pitch. Softball, personalized lessons, exciting camps and clinics. Unforgettable birthday parties and a pro shop filled with everything you need, powered by Rollins. They're located on O'Hare Drive near the airport. Visit D-Backs 7 days a week for all your baseball and softball needs.
Top of the order to you for the Florence Y'all.
Well, Evan Webster's having a good start like Gerard did yesterday.
Cole Brennan.
But yesterday, the Otters ended up getting to him in the end. See if that happens here in Game 3. Top 3 leading off for Florence against Yohan Gonzalez, who's given up 2 runs in his first 2 innings of work. Brandon Blomquist and Zeisler as the lineup flips over for the first time. First pitch is called a strike to Brandon. Cole Brandon, 27 years old. He's from Elko, Georgia. Was a second-round draft pick in the 2017 draft. The 0-1 is a little low. He got drafted over a few MLB guys. Dalton Varsho, Taylor Walls, Ernie Clement, Dane Myers, Jeremiah Estrada. In the 2017 draft, not necessarily a strong one, to say the least, but still had a couple of guys. Royce Lewis, Hunter Green, Mackenzie Gore. Hopefully Hunter Green gets well soon. Heard he's getting Tommy John and is going to miss a lot of time. So hopefully he comes back strong. 1-2 here from Gonzalez. That is called strike 3. Second strikeout of the day for Gonzalez. Both looking as Brandon goes down for out number 1 in the third.
Of the game. Congratulations.
Strikeout brought to you by German American Bank.
They're going home with the Hoosier Lottery.
And that'll bring up Brett Blomquist.
You're older, play ball with the Hoosier Lottery. Please play responsibly at German American Bank. Strikeout, second baseman 12, Brett Blomquist.
Might have to take a look at Cole Brandon's high school stats to see how he got drafted out of high school in the second round. That'd be, he had to have hit, what, 600 maybe? Or something. 0-1 to Blomquist is a little high. He was committed to Georgia Southern. He's the 14th ranked prospect overall by perfect game. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Third overall in Georgia, second outfielder. Doesn't show his stats though. What was the dude hitting? One, two. Foul back to the netting. I really have nothing. 1-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Gonzalez at the top 2 in the order. His third overall. And that will bring up Hank Zeisler. After the 4-hit day for Zeisler, it just seems like he's a chance of hitting a home run every single time he steps up to the plate. So it says here that Cole Brandon hit .439 as a senior at the Westfield School, had 23 doubles, 3 triples, and 5 homers. Called him a good 5-tool player. At .439, though, I would have expected it to be higher if he's a second-round draft pick, but I'm sure he's probably playing some good high school competition and still hitting at that rate against said high school competition. Quickly 2-0 here against Zeisler. Now Gonzalez kicks and fires. That is outside for ball 3. Zeisler looking to walk for the second time, possibly. 3-0 is called a strike. Be surprised if Zeisler doesn't have some sort of walk record. He does. Yep, knew it. 182 of them, which is a franchise record. Probably one that he set this season, right? He's got 48 walks. He's just breaking every single record. Tyler Schoenfeld has a record as well in stolen bases. He's on the 60-day, though. Swing and a miss, and it's 3-2. The only other guy with a record right now is Yoniker Villalobos. His franchise record in starts with 81 surpassed the franchise record there. 3-2 is going to miss low for ball 4. And that is the second walk issued to Zeisler. Third overall for Gonzalez. Oh, that'll bring up Zade Richardson. Struck out looking was the first of 3 strikeouts for Gonzalez. Swing and a miss. And it's 0-1. There's a base hit into left field for Richardson. Taking second base is Zeisler. And that is the second hit of the day for Florence. 2 are on here yet again with 2 outs for Brendan Bobo. Has a chance to drive in another run, maybe 2 here for Florence. We'll talk a little bit more about the franchise records. Today is actually Zeisler's 305th game with Florence, which ties the franchise record. So Tuesday, Zeisler will have broken another record. He just keeps on doing it. That will be at home, though, against Lake Erie. Throw back to second base. Not in time. Zeisler was ready to pull off another double steal, and Gonzalez saw it. The throw was close, but not necessarily an out call over at second base. That is one disengagement, though, for Gonzalez. As they try to set up yet again here for Brendan Bobo. So waiting on that first pitch. Couple looks back to second base now, and the first pitch to Bobo is fouled away off to the left side. His 2-run single in the first inning is the difference in this one. Florence up 2-0. Take a look at who's the first base coach for Florence today. Zach Beadle again. 0-1. Outside. Well, Beadle was the first base coach on Friday, but he played yesterday. I don't think I caught a glimpse of who it was yesterday. It could have been Harbison when he had his day off. Maybe it's just a catcher flip-flop. 1-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for Florence. Otters still all zeros on the Western Front. One-two from Gonzalez. He swung on and missed for strike 3. 3 strikeouts in that inning for Gonzalez. Couple base runners in between, but still managed to get out of the third scoreless. Florence up 2-0, heading to the bottom of the third on the Otters Digital Network.
It is time to show off some muscle. We've got Jacob on the field. He is our next participant in the Indiana International Guard Push-Up Contest. He's got 30 seconds to do as many push-ups as he can. If he is at the top of the leaderboard by the end of the season, he wins season tickets for next season. And they tell you what the top of the leaderboard was? 57, that's right. So 58 or better, or we're all gonna boo you. All right, you ready, man? Get down in position. Ready, set, go. Needs your help, guys. It's hot out here. Let's hear it. 15 seconds down. 10 seconds to go. Evan is out. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Third innings brought to you by Precision Pest and Wildlife. Every great team brings precision to the field. We bring it to your home and business. Call 812-993-3341 or visit precisionpestwildlife.com. Let's elevate the standard together. Well, Evan Webster's faced 7 guys and has struck out 5 of them. He's got 5 Ks through 2 scoreless innings. The only base runner for Evansville so far has been the walk to Sam Linscott. He did not advance past first base, but it's Marcourt, Salvaggio, and Jones 8-9-1 that's leading off in the bottom of the third.
The catcher, number 18, Cade Marcourt.
Cade Marcourt went 1 for 4, got his first Otters hit and Otters RBI back on Friday. Hit a blooper that got in between Zeisler, Blomquist, and Bobo in shallow right. Ended up scoring a run. First pitch will miss outside. Marcourt with the Sioux City Explorers earlier this season hit .220 in 17 games. That is a little low for ball 2. Itasca Community College's first 2 years, he hit over .435 in both seasons with Itasca. Fouled back to the netting. He has only hit under 400 in 1 season in his collegiate career, and that was, 2 seasons. He hit under 300 in 2024, but 353 in 2025 before hitting 452 at Briarcliff this season. Got him a pro contract. 2-1 is called a strike, and it's 2-2 to Marcourt. 24 years old from Litchfield, Minnesota. Spent a lot of time in Sioux City the past few seasons. There's a ground ball over to second base as Blomquist will toss to Zeisler for out number 1. TJ Salvaggio is on quite the heater right now. Has a hit in his last 13 games. He went 2 for 4 with a homer and 5 runs driven in yesterday's ball game. Also, it's the 3rd time that Salvaggio has hit a home run in back-to-back games this season. First pitch, slow curveball, called a strike. Hit a homer in back-to-back games, June 19th and the 21st against Mississippi, as well as August 11th and 13th against Gateway, which is also part of this 13-game hitting streak. He's hit a lot of home runs in August. It's 6 of them, to be exact, of his 15 now, which lead the team. He's now down in a count 0-2. He is hitting .418 in August. 8 doubles, 6 homers, 16 RBIs. He's having a fantastic month. Fouled away off to the right side. A foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. And it'll remain at 0-2. Otters still have yet to get their first hit of the day. Outside, and it's 1-2. Webster from Cincinnati. 1-2. Fights one off, and it's a blooper into right field for a base hit. First hit of the day for the Otters as TJ Salvaggio extends his hitting streak to 14 games. Just got to get past David Mendham, and he'll have the longest active hit streak in the league. Quebec is playing right now. Back to the top of the order, Monty Jones. Mendham already has a hit today, so he extended his hitting streak already to 20 games. Insane, by the way. Mendham, the former Otter. Runner goes, first pitch. Called a ball throw to second base is not in time. Salvaggio stays perfect on the base pass. He is 20 for 20 now this season. So runner in scoring position with 1 out for Jones as he took ball 1. Well, with that stolen base, Salvaggio overtakes Norris McClure, who is on New York. Saw him here at Bossy Field. The most stolen bases without getting caught this season in the Frontier League. Outside, and it's ball 3 to Jones. Walk would put 2 on for Marcos Gonzalez. I would definitely have to check on McClure, see if he stole a base. Actually, no, never mind. New York hasn't even started yet. So, yeah, so far he has the league lead. There's a ground ball, 3-0 pitch over to short. No play over there. Monty Jones will reach on the infield single as Salvaggio will stay at second base. Well, that might be the first time we've seen this season a 3-0 swing actually work out for the Otters. It would have been just as good as a walk as Amani's on first. TJ is on second. 1 out for Gonzalez, who struck out swinging in the first inning. First pitch from Webster is a swing and a miss. Gonzalez now 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts against Webster this season. Monty Jones getting his second hit off of Webster in 2026. Both runners are going to go as that one is fouled away. And Evansville trying the double steal here in the bottom of the third. Gonzalez, though, quickly down 0-2 in the count. Trying to avoid striking out for the second time today, especially here with runners on base. Runners in scoring position. Gonzalez hitting .409. 38 for 93. 0-2. A little outside and low. Like Robertson on deck, he also struck out against Webster. The 1-2. Oh, they're going to get Jones caught in a rundown. Salvaggio will take third base, but Jones is going to be safe at second base. The tag wasn't applied. Jones immediately was calling safe as he didn't think he got tagged, and Dalton James agrees, the third base umpire. So in a crazy turn of events, runners at second and third with 1 out. Now 1-2 coming to Gonzalez. They almost had Jones. It was a very nice pickoff move over to first by Webster. But Zeisler didn't get the tag off. Now the tying run in scoring position here in the bottom of the third. One-two yet again. There's a fly ball into left field. Making the catch is Brodell. Here comes Salvaggio. Throw will go too short. And the sac fly from Marcos Gonzalez cuts the deficit in half. It's 2-1. No tag at second from Jones. He'll stay there, but Blake Robertson a chance to tie the game. Otters are on the board here in game 3. Only down 1. First pitch to Robertson is a little high. There's only 1 scoreless start for Webster this season. Through 6 scoreless against Mississippi on the 19th of July. Fouled away, and it's 1-1. He does have 2 other starts in which he only gave up 1 earned run. June 24th against Gateway, July 12th against Joliet. Those 2 games in which he struck out his season-high 8 batters. 1-1. Ground ball into center field, a base hit. Amani Jones will come around to score, and Blake Robertson ties the game up at 2. Again, shades of yesterday's game. Webster was dealing through 2 innings, and all of a sudden, Now 3 hits and 2 runs have come in and we're tied up. Now we'll have a mound visit here. Toby Hall coming to the mound along with the rest of the infield. Give our first look at the out-of-town scoreboard as games are starting. Washington Joliet tied at 0 in the second inning. 2-0 Tri-City's already beaten New Jersey in the first. Windy City scores in the first inning. They're leading Gateway 1-0. Gateway made a huge comeback to win yesterday. Dropped the Otters' magic number to 6. Quebec is winning 3-2 against Sussex. Lake Erie up 4-1 on Schaumburg. Ooh, that's not ideal for Schaumburg. Mississippi's winning 7-2 against Ottawa. And Brockton, New York, and Troyes down east both start at 3 Central Standard Time. Marcos Gonzalez hits a sac fly. Blake Robertson drives in a run with an RBI single, and it's 2-2.
Number 6, LG Castillo.
Now the go-ahead run at first base for LG Castillo. Castillo has a grounder back to Webster on a broken bat. High for ball 1. Otters also now out hitting Florence. 3 singles in this inning. Castillo 1 for 4 yesterday and in game 1 of this series. So that one's called a strike. Hitting at a .328, still in that top 10 in Otters history in single season batting average, along with John Ponder, Marcos Gonzalez, and Logan Brown. Still monitoring those, by the way, the single season records. There's a blooper into left center field. That'll drop for a base hit as Robertson will head to second base. 4th hit of the inning and 2nd straight for Evansville. 2 are on with 2 outs now for Chris Quitzer.
Left fielder, number 9, Chris Quitzer.
Quitzer struck out against Webster, was the 4th of 5 strikeouts now. Robertson on second base now with LG on first. First pitch, a swing and a miss to Quitzer for strike 1. So the Otters bring in 2 runs in this inning, have tied the game up. And have really raised Webster's pitch count up to where near Gonzalez is at. 0-1. Fouled back, and it's 0-2. Sunday afternoon, Otters have an off day tomorrow before we head to Schaumburg for 3. And what is bound to be another pretty big series. Luckily, the Otters had a good week this week, no matter what the circumstances hold in this game, and are in a pretty comfortable position. Especially as well, Lake Erie next weekend. Already beat them in a series here last week. Now we get to play them again. 1-2 to Quitzer. Fouled away.
That overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction.
Well, Webster, a Cincinnati native, he's 6'3", went to Louisville for all 5 of his collegiate seasons. He was with Florence last year, had a 4.22 ERA and 98 innings. Popped up, foul ground. Broussard has a lot of space, and he'll make the catch fighting the sun for out number 3. Well, the Otters tie the game up 2-2 on a sac fly and a RBI single for Blake Robertson. So we're all tied up heading to the 4th on the Otters digital network.
Otters fans, it's time for Germany Mike's Build a Sub. We've got 2 artisan master sub chefs on the field. Over here on first base side, we got Maisie. Third base side, we got the Ghost Serenity. They're both gonna spin around the bat 10 times, build a BLT on wheat, deliver to the outer bell. Whoever does so first with all ingredients intact is your winner. You ready, Maisie? You ready, Serenity? Oh, definitely. Let's go. Here's your winner. Don't quit. No quitters in baseball. You go. You got it. There we go. The only way to top this up is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes. Red grapes and altered color. And the only way to get it is at Jersey Mike's. Because authentic ingredients make us some of Jersey Mike's is at 939 North Burkhart Road in Evansville. Stepping up to the plate for healthy skin, Newberg Dermatology reminds you to wear sunscreen, stay protected, and schedule your annual skin check. Proud partner of today's matchup.
Top of the fourth inning. It is 2-2 now after the Otters scored 2 runs in the bottom of the third inning.
One of our very own has a birthday
The
today.
umpires are
And she works
talking
in
with
the
each other.
money room.
Caleb Groom
So
going
if
over to
you
Jalen Jarvis
can
behind the
yell
plate.
loud enough so Jimmy can hear us all say
Not
happy
too
birthday.
sure what it's
Ready?
about.
1, 2, 3.
Andy McCauley coming out to have a
Say
chat
happy
here.
birthday to
And
Jimmy.
seems as though Dalton James is heading into Florence's dugout. So we might only have 2 umpires right now. Not too sure what is going on there, but I think we're about to get started here in the top of the fourth. It's 2-2. First pitch to Broussard is called a strike. I'm fully convinced that Dalton James might have just had to go to the bathroom, and they just had to talk with the coaches about it. But it happens. It happens. Sometimes you just can't hold it. High fly ball into left field. Going back is Quitzer, and that just gets over the wall. It's a home run. Garrett Broussard, a solo shot to lead off the fourth inning, and Florence has taken a 3-2 lead. That one just barely got over. That thing was hit a mile into the air, and might have
Left fielder for Marcus Brodell.
been possible for Quitzer to jump up and make that grab, but ends up going over the wall. For Broussard, that is home run number 7 on the year. RBI number 55, and he leads off the fourth, gives Florence the lead back here 3-2. First pitch is a strike called to Marcus Brodell. Brodell hit .330 last season with USF, the Bulls. Outside, and it's 1-1. 64 hits, 56 games. Started 55 of 56 as an outfielder. Had 18 multi-hit games and also had a very good defense. A .947 fielding percentage. Had 5 3-hit games. One of them in the conference tournament against Florida Atlantic, 3 for 5. Fouled away. It's going to remain at 1-2. Most recently, though, he was with the Williamsport Crosscutters in the MLB Draft League. Hit .255 there in 44 games. This is his first season with the Yalls. Outside, and it's 2-2. That UCF team last season finished 31-25. They had a streak of 12 out of 13 games they won between mid-March and early April. They ended up getting eliminated in the conference tournament against East Carolina. 3-2. That's another long at-bat here against Brodell. He flew out to right field in his first at-bat. Florence has a 3-2 lead now after the solo homer from Broussard to left field. Payoff pitch is going to miss for ball 4.
Shortstop 6, Dylan Baker.
4 walks now for Gonzalez. As Brodell on first base now with nobody out still for Baker. Bunt drop down over to Gonzalez. No play at second. His throw to first is in time. And that's out number one. As advancing to second base is Brodell on the sac bunt.
The catcher, 11, Kyle Harbison.
Back to the bottom of the order, Kyle Harbison. He lined out over to Gonzalez at third base. That ended the second inning. Now here in the fourth with a runner in scoring position and one out, as Florence is trying to go back up by 2. Gonzalez steps off. Now Gonzalez was in the Mexican League with the Tigres de Quintana Roo. Talked about a lot of guys from Quintana Roo heading to the Frontier League. He had a 4.67 ERA in 44 and a third innings. Big part of that rotation last season for Evansville, as that misses outside for ball 1. Had a 5.42 ERA, 86 and a third innings. Did struggle a little bit with location as he's been doing today. Walked 44, also hit 14 batters over the course of the year. 1-0 is just outside for ball 2. Spent 2 seasons in the Padres organization with the Fort Wayne Tin Caps. Not too far away from here, just on the other side of the state. 2-0 is going to miss for ball 3. Gonzalez from Port St. Lucie, Florida. He was originally born, though, in Santiago in the Dominican Republic. Re-signed back on August 11th, making his second start. 3-0 is called a strike, and it's 3-1. Baker has not taken the bat off of his shoulder yet. He lined out, Harbison. He lined out to third. Walk would put 2 on with 1 out for the top of the lineup in Cole Brannon. Swing and a miss, and it's 3-2. So far, with adding everything up today, he has 6 walks and 11 strikeouts this season. Gonzalez. The payoff pitch. And it's called strike 3. Top half of the zone. Strikeout number 5 for Gonzalez. And he goes from 3-0 to out number 2 via the K. Back to the top of the order now with 2 down in Cole Brannon. Cole Brannon 0 for 2. Talking about his high school stats a little bit when he was up. See what got him drafted in the second round. He signed with Boston for $1.3 million. Which is bound to happen when you're a second round pick. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Called a strike. It's 1-1. Overall, with the Red Sox organization, he had a 187 ERA in 296 games. That was between 2017 and 2022. One. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-2. Was with Gateway the previous 3 seasons. Was actually with Florence, though, in 2023. So this is a little bit of a homecoming for him. Was also with Washington in 2022. He just loves the Midwest Conference. 1-2 misses. With Florence in 2023, Brandon went and hit 247 in 57 games. Split time between Florence and Gateway, which was his first of 4 seasons there. 2-2. There's a blooper right to second base, and Jones will make the catch. Bat broke. And the broken bat's brought to you by Niehaus Lumber. Please, we're begging you to get your lumber at Niehaus Lumber. As we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, solo homer from Broussard makes it 3-2 Florence on the Otters Digital Network.
It's time to show us your best smiles for the HRI Dental Smile Cam. Over 300,000 members trust HRI Dental because it's based right here in the Hoosier state of Indiana. HRI Dental has been insuring smiles for more than 37 years. Keep on smiling with HRI Dental. And a big round of applause for the volunteers. They help brush off the faces. Look at those pearly white shine. This is the Sheet Metal Workers Local 24th inning. For 138 years, Sheet Metal Workers have led the way in sheet metal industries like heating and air, architectural, industrial, and more. Visit smart20evansville.com for more information. Don't forget, fans, the final 3 games of the regular season in 2026 here at the ballpark on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this coming week. 6:30 start times on both Friday and Saturday, and then our regular season home finale a week from today at 12:35. Tickets for all 3 games are still available.
It is the fourth inning, and it's brought to you by Sheet Metal Workers Local 20. For 138 years, Sheet Metal Workers have led the way in sheet metal industries like heating and air, architectural, industrial, and more. Visit smart20evansville.com for more information. Well, Florence took the lead back 3-2 on Garrett Broussard's 7th home run of the year, but considering the fact that the Otters have come back from these deficits before multiple times in this series, it shouldn't be too concerned that the Otters are going to just lay down and not score a run here. I'm expecting them, honestly, to score like 4 unanswered. That's kind of how it's been this series. It's Lynn Scott leading off, though, 6-7-8, with Mark Black and Cade Marcourt behind him. First pitch from Webster. Bunt, drop down. It's a pop-up. Nobody's going to get there. As it lands in foul ground, and it's 0-1. Webster pitched 1 game against Evansville last season. June 28th, he threw 5 1/3 innings, gave up 3 earned runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. He also has a Frontier League Pitcher of the Week award from last season on August 18th. Outside, and it's 1-1. He pitched in the 23-19 game from last season, which is the Frontier League record for runs scored, which almost got broken this season. It was that 19-18 game. There's a fly ball into deep left field. Going back is Brodell. Sam Linscott ties the game at 3. Solo home run in the top of the 3rd, and Linscott responds with a homer of his own, number 6 on the year. And we are back tied up, this time at 3, here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Right fielder, number 29, Mark Black.
That one just barely getting over the left field wall, but counts just the same as Linscott grabs home run number 6. For Linscott, that's his first home run since July 18th. As Mark Black fouls it away, sending a decent homer drought there. Longest homer drought is Mark Black. He hasn't homered since July 10th, but Linscott was second. And that is now over. So big homer for Linscott. And it's back all evened up. Trading runs in the 4th inning. Like I was saying, though, Webster pitched in that 23-19 game last season. He gave up 10 runs in that game, actually. It was July 3rd of 2025 and 23-19 score. 10 runs, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 9 hits in 3 innings in that game. That game, I don't know the exact numbers. That had to have lasted like 5 hours. Had to have been such a long game. Couldn't only imagine. Ground ball off the end of the bat over to first base. Zeisler will toss to the pitcher Webster for out number 1. That'll bring up Cade Marcourt.
The catcher, number 18, Cade Marcourt.
Well, speaking of long games, the Otters have a game in length that might not be broken ever. 7 hours and 5 minutes against Gateway. That's back in 2001, June 14th, but It's just 7 hours. That used to happen every once in a while. You saw a 20 inning game, a 21 inning game, but I think it's just kind of unfathomable now that we get a 7 hour game if there wasn't like a 3-4 hour rain delay involved. But this is actual game time. And I checked the score of the game. It only ended 6-5, which makes me think, did this game go 25 innings? That is not too much of a high scoring game. It's definitely something that won't be broken. That's for sure. Also, there's a couple of records that the Otters have that won't be broken just because of the sudden death rule, such as longest start by a player in innings. PJ Moore, 11 innings back in 1995. We're not going to have a guy pitch 11 innings. That's not happening. There's no way. There's no way. 1-2 is outside, and it's 2-2 to Mark Court. He grounded out to second base in his first at bat. That led off the third inning. Or longest game innings. That is 17. We're not going 17 innings anymore. That's not happening. That's called a strike. And that is strike 3 as Marquardt goes down looking. 6th strikeout for Webster.
The shortstop, number 19, TJ Salvaggio.
Now to bring up TJ Salvaggio, who ended up extending his hitting streak in his first at bat. Now 14 games, still behind Mendham though. Mendham's at 20. A little unfortunate, but still, he's hitting the ball very well. He was hitting .418 in August with the hits. Gonna get higher somehow. It was a weird pitch, 67 miles per hour that went high and away. Webster does have a lot of pitches, and I think that might have been a curve. I'm not sure. Check swing is a no-go over at first base, and it's 2-0 to Salvaggio. Webster did also play with Florence in 2024 after his last season at Louisville, in which he was the All-ACC second-team selection. Called a strike, and it's 2-1. This is before Cal and Stanford made their way to the Atlantic Coast Conference. Weird. A little weird. Fouled away. It's 2-2. He had a 4.18 ERA in 71 innings with Louisville in 2024. 7th all-time in appearances in Cardinals history with 84. Signed with Florence on his birthday, actually, for his first season. Swing and a miss for strike 3. 7 strikeouts now for Webster, but the solo home run for Sam Linscott to lead off the inning tied the game back up. It's 3-3 as we head to the 5th inning on the Otters Digital Network.
The boys and girls, please welcome to the field your Southwest Graphics Evansville Otterville. Skip the line or bank from the comfort of your own home with self-service options at Heritage. Heritage, a proud partner of Evansville Otters baseball. I have one final special announcement here at the ballpark this afternoon. We'd like to wish a very happy birthday to Connor, who's here at the ballpark this afternoon with family and friends. Happy birthday to Connor on the count of 3. Let's say happy birthday, Connor. Are we ready? Get set, go.
Top of the 5th inning.
Happy birthday.
It is 3-3 as Gonzalez is back out there for the 5th. They'll face the bulk of the order: Blomquist, Zeisler, and Richardson, 2, 3, 4. As try and keep things tied here in the top of the 5th inning. Both teams exchanged solo home runs in the 4th inning. One from Broussard, one from Linscott. And both of those were leadoff home runs hit by the number 6 hitter. The first pitch will hit Blomquist, and he'll take first base on the leadoff hit by pitch.
First baseman, 13, Hank Zeisler.
So runner on first with nobody out for Hank Zeisler. Has 2 walks today, so is not technically recorded an at-bat. That is a liner into right field for a base hit. Trying to head first to third is Blomquist. The throw is going to get cut off by Salvaggio. Back-to-back singles, or sorry, hit by pitch and a single. Have runners at the corners with nobody out for Zade Richardson. Dylan Zenko getting warm in the bullpen, looking like he's going to be the first guy out there. Richardson 1 for 2. He has a single and a strikeout so far today. As the go-ahead run at third base with nobody out, with Zeisler at first. Definitely going to have to watch Zeisler over there. First pitch, a swing and a miss. Richardson in his 4th season with the Yalls after spending some time in the Cardinals organization. That one's fouled away, and it's 0-2. It was a 22nd round pick in 2019. Went back when there were more than 22 rounds. Got drafted by the Cardinals. He hit 177 in 108 games in the organization. Elected free agency after 2022 and ended up signing with Florence. 0-2 pitch, runner goes, as that one will miss. A little outside, bobbled by Marquardt, and taking second base is Zeisler. Second and third now with nobody out. One-two from Gonzalez. A little low yet again. Richardson ended up making it to high A with the Peoria Chiefs. He's also with the Braves organization for just a little bit with their high A squad, the Rome Braves, now the Rome Emperors. He got released by the Peoria Chiefs on July 6th of 2022, signed with the Rome Emperors on the 15th. Only played 1 game, got put on the injured list, and missed the rest of the year, and then didn't sign with them again. So 1 game with the Braves organization before he got injured. 2-2. There's a pop-up right to short and caught by Salvaggio for out number 1.
Right fielder, 3, Brendan Bobo.
Now that'll bring up Brendan Bobo. He was in the spot in the 1st inning and ended up driving both runners in, 2nd and 3rd, with 1 out. And he's got Blomquist at 3rd, Zeisler at 2nd. Zeisler has the speed to definitely score on a single to the outfield. Last at bat, though, Bobo ended up striking out to end the 3rd inning. First pitch misses a little outside for ball 1. There's nobody warming for Florence. It looks like Webster is going to get the bottom half of the 5th inning. I don't see why he shouldn't. So he's given up 3 earned runs, but so is Gonzalez. 1-0. Outside for ball 2. Walk would load the bases for Garrett Broussard, who has a homer already today. Bobo in his second season with Florence. Last season hit .295 in 73 games. 8 for 34 against Evansville. Breaking ball, that one will miss outside as well, and it's 3-0. Spent his last season in collegiate ball with Loyola Marymount, the Lions. He hit .317 in 51 games. Hit 12 homers, drove in 58 runs. And it's a 4-pitch walk to Bobo. And the 5th walk issued by Gonzalez. That'll load the bases up with 1 out for Garrett Broussard.
Baseman 5, Garrett Broussard.
Broussard already has a home run in his last at bat. It was a solo shot that started off the top of the 4th inning. Otherwise, he has a grounder to short. Hoping to get that first outcome here. Maybe get a double play ball and keep things tied up. First pitch from Gonzalez is called a strike. For Broussard, that was his 4th home run on the road. His first homer of the season in a day game. There's a base hit into left field. That will bring in the go-ahead run. Everybody advances 90 feet. And Garrett Broussard brings in his 2nd run of the day and puts Florence back on top 4-3.
Left fielder 4, Marcus Brodell.
Max Peterson will come out. I think with the lefty coming up, that might be the day for Yohan Gonzalez. We'll see what they do here. They have a lot of room to work with here, especially with the off day tomorrow, and Peterson will call to the bullpen. So that will do it for Gonzalez. For now, 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. Definitely a different outing this time compared to in Washington. And it was the location and the hits given up that were the main issue for him. See if Zenko can keep things at a 1-run game, but there is the bases loaded with 1 out. We'll take a quick break on the Otters Digital Network.
Once again, we'd like to welcome Newburgh Dermatology. They're our game sponsor today. Don't forget on this Sunday Family Fun Day, $3 Dippin' Dots. Say hello in left field to DHL Supply Chain from over 100 enjoyed a group outing there. Also say hello to our GA group outing, Holy Rosary Catholic Church. Great to have them here at the ballpark today. Also great to see John Stanley.
Pitching change is brought to you by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find all your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or give them a call at 812-475-9K. Dylan Zenko is into the game. He has a 3.6 ERA in 30 innings pitched so far this season. Has not pitched yet in this series. His last outing was actually on Tuesday against Washington. And 1 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, a home run given up, but earned his first professional victory in his last outing against Washington. This is the second time Zenko is pitching against Florence. He's in a very tense situation here with the bases loaded and 1 out against Marcus Brodell. Zenko used to be 45. That number was given to Yohan Gonzalez, and Zenko took 17. See how he does here. Trying to keep things at a 1-run game. A lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch to Brodell is called a strike. Brodell is a fly out to right field and a walk so far today, 0 for 1. The 0-1 pitch from Zentko is in the dirt. It is Zeisler on third, Bobo on second, Broussard on first. His RBI single brought in Brett Blomquist and put Florence back on top 4-3. 1-1. Little low and away. Check swings a no-go, and it's 2-1. Brodell was teammates with a couple of MLB guys when he was at USF, Ryan Kirkering, Brad Lord. That was both in 2022 before they got drafted. In 2022, he hit 276 in 43 games as a true freshman. Fouled away, and it's 2-2. I got a lot of playing time when he was with USF. Started in his freshman year and played pretty much every season there. 4-year starter before coming to Florence. 2-2. And that is called strike 3. Zentko gets Brodell looking. And that is a huge out number 2 for Evansville. Keeping the bases loaded. Now with 2 outs for Dylan Baker. Definitely a good opportunity here for the Otters to come back. First pitch from Zentko is a foul tip. Might have caught a piece of Marcourt. And it's strike 1. Baker so far today has a liner to left field, a sac bunt that advanced Brodell to second base, but he didn't end up coming around. Baker hitting at a 257 now in his 84th game. Had that 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts on Friday. A really rough game as well. He struck out to end the game. There's a fly ball into center field. Lynn Scott is right there, backs up a couple of steps and makes the catch for out number 3. So Dylan Zentko inherits 3 runners and doesn't allow any of them to score as he strikes out Brodell and gets Baker to fly out to center. Go-ahead run does come in, though, as the RBI single from Broussard makes it 4-3 halfway home on the Otters digital network.
We've got Sophia with the yellow hula hoop. We've got Ava with the blue. They're going to hoop for 30 seconds and be judged by the Otter Bells. Whoever they say did the best job, tried the hardest, smiled the most, I'm not sure, will be your winner. Ladies ready? Set, go! Cheer 'em on, everybody. This is hard to do. Halfway there. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think Ava ran away with it. Yep, Ava is our winner. Today's game is sponsored by Newark Dermatology. Your team
5th inning is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, the bottomless apps. They're here. They've always been here. Dine and only visit either Evansville locations, 5405 Pearl Drive or 715 North Green River Road for details. Otters down 1 yet again here in the bottom of the 5th inning as Webster is back out there for another inning of work. So far, 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, nearing his season high of 8. Now, though, at 106 2/3 innings. It'll be the top 3, Amani Jones, Marcos Gonzalez, and Blake Robertson leading off.
Second baseman, number 12, Amani Jones.
For Webster, this is his. Now he's fourth highest in the Frontier League in innings pitched. First pitch from Webster to Amani Jones is going to miss low. With the 4 innings, though, he has passed Gunnar Kynes, so he's now in third. There's 2 Schaumburg guys, though, in the top 2. Buddy Pindell is at 113. He leads it, and then Cole Cook at 111. Grounder to third. Throw to first is in time, and that's out number 1.
Third baseman, number 2, Marcos Gonzalez.
Landon Williman is the leader for Evansville. He is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's like 15th, 20th in the league. Otters get a lot of play from their bullpen. And for good reason. Bullpen's been dominant this season. First pitch is a strike to Gonzalez, who hit a sac fly in his last at-bat, struck out swinging in the first. A little outside, and it's 1-1. Webster was teammates with a few MLB guys as well when he was with Louisville. Dalton Rushing, Bobby Miller, Reed Detmers, Henry Davis, who was a first overall pick.
That overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best.
So
and never regret.
some good Louisville teams. He's one of their main pitchers in 2025. Or sorry, 2024, where he was all ACC second team. First season in which he was a starter as well. 1-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and that ties the season high for Webster. 8 strikeouts today. First 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and that'll bring up Blake Robertson.
First baseman, number 31, Blake Robertson.
2024 for Webster, he was out of the bullpen at a 3.09 ERA. Walked 9, struck out 36. His strikeout to walk ratio was really good in college, and that continues here. 31 walks now with 88 strikeouts, if you put today's stats into account. Called a strike, and it's 1-1 to Robertson. Robertson has a RBI single in the 3rd inning. Ended up tying the game at 2. Struck out in the 1st. A little high. Webster started in 2020, the shortened COVID season with Louisville. He played in 5 games. Fouled away, running after it is Broussard, but he will not have a play on it. It's 2-2. Had won a Summer Collegiate League season as well back in 2021. He was in the Cape Cod League with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Cape Cod League seems seems like a lot of the best guys go to the Cape Cod League. Grounder over to first base, but foul.
Be careful over there, Nick.
Still nobody warming in the pen. Webster is at now 90 pitches. So he might get him a little bit in the 6th inning. 2-2 though. It is called strike 3. A new season high 9 strikeouts for Evan Webster as he strikes out 2 in this inning, 2 in the last inning, 2 in the 2nd, and 3 in the 1st to get the full 9. We'll head to the 6th inning. Florence still up 4-3 on the Otters Digital Network.
Everyone 18 or older holding a ball win a $30 Leisure Lottery prize pack. Are we ready? Get set, go! There's the drag crew out there doing a great job as always. We have Lucas, Nick, Tony, and Anthony, plus Dan, doing his magic with the field. Heads up to the All-American Bryson Moore. Almost got hit by one of those Leisure Lottery balls. Incognito here today at the ballpark. And stop. Congratulations. Congratulations from the Hoosier Lottery and the Evansville Otters. Otters staff will tell you how to claim your prize. Must be 18 or older to play and win. Please play responsibly and make sure you stop by your local Hoosier Lottery retailer to pick up your cash prize ticket. For today's drawing, cash prize estimated at $833,000. Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly. And it is time for the United Fidelity Bank sixth inning. United Fidelity Bank, the experience you need and service you deserve since 1914. And we say hello to Bryson Moore, the All-American. He's here at the ballpark today.
Bottom of the 5th inning here in Evansville, Indiana. Florence has a 4-3 lead. The RBI single from Garrett Broussard has brought in the 4th run and the go-ahead run so far. And Broussard has driven in 2 runs on 2 hits. Dylan Zenko had the bases loaded with 1 out, got Brodell to strike out looking, and then had Dylan Baker fly out to center field to avoid further damage and keep things at a 1-run game. It'll be the 9-1-2 guys, Harbison, Brannon, and Blomquist, the leadoff in the top of the 6th. First pitch inside for ball 1. Harbison was with Windy City the last 2 seasons. 225 in 31 games last season, and 247 in 22 games in 2024. Played for 4 different schools. His first school, though, was Indiana State, just up the road from here. Spent 2 seasons there, only played in 10 games in both seasons. 2020, 4 games. He ended up going 1 for 2. Got his first college hit against Ohio State. So that one is outside for ball 3. 2021, he went 1 for 6 in 6 games. He got a double against Southern Illinois. Also played in the Prospect League with the Terre Haute Rex. 3-0. That is called a strike. And it's 3-1. Leadoff man has reached a few times for Florence today. That will miss for ball 4. Another walk for Otters pitching, the 6th of the day.
Center fielder 8, Cole Brandon.
Back to the top of the lineup in Cole Brannon. Leadoff man has reached base in the last 3 innings for Florence. Home run, a hit by pitch, now the walk. Other 2 came around and score. Bunt showed and pulled back, called a low ball. Brandon hit .253 with Gateway last season. Had 1 pitching appearance. That was against the Otters. August 24th. So a year ago tomorrow was that pitching appearance. Hit a homer, drove in 2 runs, stole 3 bases as well in the playoffs. Gateway made the postseason last year. It's not looking good for him this year, though. 1-1. Check. And it is 1-2. I think they checked the swing. No, it's 2-1. Not too sure. Interesting. The pitch from Zenko. High fly ball into foul ground. Robertson running after it. It'll land on the roof. Foul ball brought to you by Ed's Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. Last year for Gateway, Brandon hit 8 for 31 against the Otters. Had 4 3-hit games. 12 home runs, 53 RBIs, was taking advantage of that short porch. He also keeps rising the ranks in Grizzlies' stolen base history. Had 71 by the end of 2025. That was third, and he added 19 with Gateway this season. Popped up left side of the infield. Salvaggio will make the catch, and that's out number 1. He hit 211 with Gateway in 89 games in 24, 230 in 36 games in 2023. Brett Blomquist is 0 for 1. He has a strikeout, but he also has a walk and a hit by pitch, has scored twice. Runner on first here with 1 out in the top of the 6th inning. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Blomquist, 23 years old. He's from Atlanta. He's with North Greenville. Last season, hit .398 in D2. There's a fly ball and a deep right field. Mark Black, though, has room, and he'll make the catch. Backing back to the track for out number 2, heading back to first base, is Harbison.
13, Hank Zeisler.
Hank Zeisler's back up. Feel like every inning Zeisler has an at-bat. This is the 4th time he's up today. Has reached 3 times, 2 walks and a single so far. Has also scored once back in the 1st inning. Scored the 2nd of 2 runs that were brought across on Brendan Bobo's 2-run single. And out a lefty-lefty for the first time today against Zentko. First pitch a little low. Zeisler was a Frontier League All-Star selection in 2024 and 2025, as well as 2026. 3 for 4 so far, as he wasn't in 2023, but he was also fresh off of his last season of college with Mizzou. Two 2-0. .291 average in 54 games with Mizzou for Zeisler. That is called a strike, and it's 2-1. His best season was in 2022. He hit .396 with UNLV, all Mountain West first team, top 100 in 11 different NCAA Division I statistical categories. Little low, and it's ball 3. Zeisler looking to walk for the 3rd time today and reach for the 4th time. .3-1 from Zentko. That will miss for ball 4.
Designated hitter, 9, Zade Richardson.
So 3 walks for Zeisler. Now 7 for Otters pitching. And there's 2 on with 2 outs for Zade Richardson. One for 3 for Zade. He has a single and a strikeout, as well as a pop out over to Salvaggio at short. First pitch from Zentko is a little outside for ball 1. So it's now Harbison on second with Zeisler on first as Florence tries to extend their lead here in the top of the 6th inning. A 1-0. Another one misses low for ball 2. Well, with runners in scoring position, we mentioned Zade Richardson has the highest average on the team, just a couple ticks under 400. That's just in general, though, as he swings and misses. With 2 outs, it's still, though, it even gets better for Zade Richardson. .419, 13 for 31, 7 walks, 6 strikeouts. He just loves hitting with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. That is ball 3. We'll have somebody warming in the bullpen for Evansville. It's Nolan Thebe. Zenko on the verge of walking another batter here, though. It'd be the third in this inning. 3-1 to Richardson. Foul tip gets back to the boards, and it's 3-2. Both runners going to have a head start here. 3-2 with 2 outs. Four 3 game here. Florence on top, looking to extend their lead here in the top of the 6th inning. Payoff pitch is a foul ball back to the netting. We'll do it again. Taking a look at the other scores in the Frontier League, Joliet's beaten Washington again. 4-2 in the 5th inning. Washington, though, is on the prowl. Gateway has scored 7 unanswered. They're leading 7-1 against Windy City. Tri-City's beaten New Jersey 5-2. Some other games going on. Schaumburg is making things close against Lake Erie. Payoff yet again is another foul ball, and we'll keep taking a look. 14-4, Mississippi's beating Ottawa. Whoa, that's a big old score right there. 7-5, Quebec's beating Sussex County. Still got those 2 last games that are starting in about 30 minutes. But Windy City on the verge of losing another one. That would drop the Otters' magic number down to 5, no matter the outcome of this game. Another payoff is a high chopper to third. Gonzalez throws across the diamond, and it is out number 3. Couple walks, but still a scoreless top of the 6th for Zentko. We'll head to the bottom half, 4-3 Florence on the Otters Digital Network. Sixth inning is brought to you by United Fidelity Bank, the experience you need and the service you deserve since 1914. No Webster still out there. Nolan Thebe warming in the bullpen, but the Y'alls have somebody in the bullpen now. And we've seen him before. It's Jet Lotus. See how far Webster goes here. It'll be Castillo, Quitzer, and Linscott leading off the bottom of the 6th inning. The Otters only down 1. Definitely a chance for them to come back and try and sweep this series, especially with how Zenko has been able to get out of jams here so far in the last 2 innings. Ed LG has a single already today. He's 1 for 2. Single and a grounder back to Webster. Webster still looking for that quality start. Throws a scoreless frame here. He'll be able to get it. There's the 3 earned runs given up. The 0-1 is a fly ball into right field. Bobo has to move just a couple steps back to make the catch for out number 1.
Left fielder, number 9, Chris Quitzer.
Well, the Y'all's best inning offensively is the 7th. They have scored 99 runs in the 7th inning. So that might not bode well for Evansville. But also their worst run differentials, their 2 worst run differentials are in the 8th and the 9th. Minus 27 in the 8th and minus 16 in the 9th. So we'll see what happens. See what happens. The Otters have come back from down 6 in the 7th inning against Florence already this season. Swing and a miss on the fastball, and it's 1-1. Quitzer has a strikeout and a flyout to Broussard at third base. That one ended the 3rd inning. A little outside, and it's 2-1. Two-one pitch. Little high for ball 3. Only one walk issued by Webster today. It was to Linscott. Linscott is on deck. He's reached twice today. Has that solo home run to lead off the 4th inning. At the time, tied the game at 3. That one's fouled away, and it's a full count, 3-2. Otters head to Schaumburg next after this series. All 3 of those games, very nice, very nice. All 3 games are at 6:30. Makes it easy to schedule things. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 3. Strikeout number 10 for Webster, and that is out number 2. So Webster, the first time this season that he has struck out double-digit batters, as he is putting up very good strikeout numbers in this game. Most times the Otters have struck out in a game this season is 14. That was against New York. It's another Ephus-esque pitch that just doesn't go near the zone. He's done that twice now, and neither one has been close. 1-0 is called a strike on the inside half of the zone. The Otters have their most strikeouts offensively and pitching-wise in the same game, July 28th against New York. You know, that was a game in which New York strikes out a lot. They strike out a lot. But they're still fighting for the division, tied for first in the East with New Jersey. 1-2. That is called strike 3, and that is 11 strikeouts now for Webster. As he goes through the 6th inning, he has that quality start now. Linscott and Quitzer both go down via the K back-to-back to end the 6th inning. We'll head to the 7th. 4-3 Florence on the Otters Digital Network.
The Otters are back at EDSC's historic Bossy Field on Friday for the start of our final 3-game homestand of the regular season. Join us for Fan Appreciation Night on Friday, featuring various giveaways. We have Educator Appreciation Night on Saturday, and a Sunday Family Fun Day. Tickets still available at EvansvilleOtters.com. Or call them at 812-435-8686. This is the Jacobs Pub 7th inning. Jacobs Pub is proud to support the Evansville Otters in Jacobsville neighborhood. Be sure to check out First Fridays on North Main, Jacobs Pub at 607 North Main Street.
Top of the 7th inning, and we have another new pitcher coming into the game. Dylan Zenko finishes with an inning and 2/3 scoreless with 2 walks and a strikeout. And now it's Nolan Thebe into the game, as he is at a 4.4 ERA in 47 innings. He changed the walk-up song back to Creed. It was the Notorious B.I.G. for a little bit, Hypnotize, but now we're back to Creed. feel like it fits him quite well. Last outing was all the way back on the 14th against Lake Erie through a scoreless inning. First pitch is called a strike. This is the 6th time that Thebe has pitched against Florence. The first time was getting the 2 hitless innings in that no-hitter on opening day. Outside, and it's 1-1. 21 scoreless outings this season. He's given up 26 walks to 49 strikeouts. The 1-1. Fly ball into left field. Going back is Quitzer, and that's going to get over his head. One hop against the wall. Brendan Bobo leads off the 7th inning with a double. That's going to get away. Back up, though, from Marcourt to avoid the advancement. Leadoff double, though, for Bobo. And Florence in business here, trying to extend their lead. So for Brendan Bobo, that is double number 26. Reties him with Zeisler for the team lead. Also for Bobo, he now has 5 doubles in his last 5 games. Going back to the 19th against Lake Erie. Now at a 2 for 3. 19th multi-hit game. He has 8 multi-hit games now in his last 14. He's trying to raise that average over 300. First pitch to Broussard. He's going to miss high for ball 1. Broussard has a RBI in back-to-back at-bats. He hit a solo homer to start the 4th and then drove in Blomqvist with a single. Has a runner in scoring position again here with nobody out in the 7th. A little outside, and it's 2-0. Broussard spent his entire collegiate career with Utah Valley. Hit .319 his last season in 2024. Fly ball is going to go foul. He is the all-time leader in games played in Utah Valley's history. 224 of them. Tied for 5th all-time in starts. He had a career high in batting average, hits, doubles, and RBIs in 2024 before signing with Windy City. That was by far his best season with Utah Valley and his 4. Then short sample size, 18 games, hit .316 with the Thunderbolts. Fouled away, and it's 2-2. Thebe's given up 2 earned runs against Florence this season. 7 1/3 innings. 3-2. Has faced Florence quite a bit this season. Against Broussard, he's 2 for 3. 2 singles for Broussard against Thebe. There's a fly ball into center field. Lynn Scott backing up a tad. He'll make the catch. Tagging from second is Bobo. He'll get to third. And that is out number 1. But now Bobo 90 feet away from a 5th Florence run.
Left fielder for Marcus Brodell.
Well, that'll bring up Marcus Brodell. Brodell against Thebe 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. Has Bobo on third with 1 out. First pitch called a strike. Well, Bobo actually was the last out of the no-hitter. Serta struck out Zeisler and then Bobo for out number 3 to clinch that no-hitter in game 1 of the season. Grounder to second. Good snag from Amani Jones as he'll toss it to first. And a big out number 2 for Nolan Thebe. Now we'll back up the infield now with Dylan Baker up. Thebe looking to keep this a one-run game. There's a lefty warming in the bullpen now for Florence. Aiden McAvoy. He's the usual closer, so I'm not too sure why he's warming up this early. The first pitch to Baker, though, called a strike. Baker 2 for 5 against Thebe this season, just the 2 singles. A little high, and it's 1-1 on the fastball. Baker, with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, is hitting .357, 10 for 28, but also 10 strikeouts. He's had an issue with the strikeouts so far, not only this season, but in this series specifically. The 1-1. Check swing. I think it hit him. And Baker, I presume, is going to get first base on the hit by pitch. See what happens. Take a look at the replay. The trainer's coming out to check on him. Same with Toby Hall. See if we can get another replay on that. For now, I think Baker is going to head to first base on the hit by pitch if he stays in the game. If not, they might bring out, I don't know, Rushford possibly, or Serratos yet again. Serratos was a pinch hitter yesterday for Richardson. Here's a slow-mo, and looks like it does hit the hand. I didn't go around on the swing, but we're going to have a little bit of a delay here as we see if Baker's going to be okay enough to stay in the game. Looking like he will be. So he'll head to first. Runners are now at the corners. Now we're having some issues here with the umpiring crew. They're going to convene, I think, and see if this was a foul ball or not. So a longer delay here as everybody is talking to everybody about everything. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Florence. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Evansville. See what they call it. By the way, we've had 2 umpires this entire time. Not too sure what happened with Dalton James. I thought he was just going to be gone for about an inning, but they've had 2 umpires this whole time, and they're going to give Dylan Baker first base on the hit by pitch. Andy McCauley is going to come out and speak his case. He's been thrown out twice already in this series. Umpires are convening again. This is just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Andy McCauley's coming back out. It's definitely weird stuff going on. Well, Baker's been at first for a while. His hand could have healed by now, considering how long this delay has been going on for. Thebe's definitely going to have to throw some warm-up pitches. It'll be Kyle Harbison up yet again. He walked in his last at-bat in the 6th inning. That's the only time he's reached so far. Oh, while we have some time, let's talk a little bit about Toby Hall. I just talked about his coaching career, but his playing career, he was in the MLB for a pretty long time. He was there for 8 seasons. He was with the Rays for 7 years from 2000 to 2006. Played with the Dodgers in 2006 as well. Was with the White Sox in 2007 and 2008. So if you're a Rays fan, definitely have an idea of who Toby Hall is, especially if you were following them back in the mid 2000s. Let's take a look at his stats, though. He had a 4.7 WAR, 46 homers, 616 hits in the majors, 2,350 at bats is definitely not too shabby. He's originally from Tacoma, Washington, was with American River College in Sacramento before going to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, where his best player, Hank Zeisler, went. Finally, ready to go here. And the first pitch to Harbison is a ball. Popped up, foul, and it's 1-1. Right, we're right on top of the press box. Toby Hall did play only one independent league season. That was in the Atlantic League in 2011 with the Camden River Sharks, which I don't think exist anymore. Wonder what the Atlantic League looked like back in 2011. Called a strike. They're going to let Baker take second base. So second and third now with 2 outs and a 1-2 to Harbison coming. The 1-2. Fouled away. Atlantic League in 2011 had the Atlantic League Road Warriors, which they could have come. They should have came up with a better name for the Road Warriors. Should have came up with something like the Red Pocket Mobiles. Speaking of the Red Pocket Mobiles, let's check up on how they're doing. So last we checked, they were on that 27-game losing streak. How are we looking now? Lost 30. Okay. Another 1-2 from Thebe. And that one will hit Harbison. And now Harbison is down. That one was a fastball that got up and in a little bit. Zach Beadle running from first base. Harbison, he had a little bit of issues with his hand back on Friday while he was catching. I think he might get taken out for this one. I was wondering what Beadle
Back to the top of the order.
was doing going back from first base. But Harbison will head to first base. Back-to-back hit by pitches allowed by Nolan Thebe. And the bases are loaded with 2 outs now for the top of the order in Cole Brannon. Beadle's going back. He's going to be the first base coach still. Not too sure why he was running back to the dugout with such haste. Anthony Tomczak warming in the bullpen now for Evansville. First pitch to Brannon is going to miss high and away for ball 1. So the double for Bobo led off the inning. Thebe got Broussard to fly out to center and a grounder to second from Brodell. Back-to-back hit by pitches have Florence possibly a chance to extend their lead here. 1-0 is called a strike to Brannon, and it's 1-1. One pitch from Thebe. Trying to escape the jam here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Got to get this third out here. The bulk of the order coming up in Blomquist, Zeisler, and Richardson. 1-2 from Thebe. Outside for ball 2. It's been a long inning already for Thebe. 21 pitches now. It's the bottom 3 leading off in the bottom of the 7th inning, presumably against a New pitcher. 2-2. High and away for ball 3. Nowhere to put him. A walk brings in a 5th run for Florence. Also might be the day for Thebe if he walks this runner. Payoff pitch. Everybody's going. As Thebe kicks and fires. That is ball 4. And a run will come in. 3 straight free passes, including walk number 8 for Otters pitching. As that will bring out Max Peterson for the mound visit. Anthony Tomczak, I think, is going to come into the game here. So Thebe's out of the game. Tomczak will come in here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Thebe walks in a run, and it's 5-3 Florence. We'll take a quick break on the Otters Digital Network.
Otters with a call to the bullpen. 43 Anthony Tomczak in to pitch. Tomczak is on the mound. Mark Ward behind the plate. Pitch catch batteries powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs in the Answer Auto Repair East. Located at 2319 North Denver Road, or give them a call at 812-475-9000. And tell them Nick from the Otters sent you.
New pitcher into the game here in the top of the 7th inning. Anthony Tomczak is into the game. Tomczak had a 6.04 ERA in 22 1/3 innings. His whip is at a 1.66. He has walked 15, struck out 30. He's entering here with the bases loaded and 2 outs as Brett Blomquist steps up to the plate. A run already in here for Florence in the top of the 7th inning after the bases loaded walk for Cole Brannon. So Tomczak inheriting these runners and hopefully not allowing any of them to score. First pitch is called a strike. So far this season, Tomczak has inherited 9 runners, and 2 of them have scored. A pretty good ratio there. 0-1 inside, and it's 1-1. Now, the walks have definitely been the issue here for Evansville, 8 of them so far today. Not able to locate, plus the 2 hit by pitches. That is down the line, and it's going to be a fair ball all the way into the corner. 2 runs are going to come in. Rounding third is Brannon. He will score as well. And a bases clearing double for Brett Blomquist has made it 8-3 here in the 7th. So all 3 of those inherited runners will come around to score. All of them will be earned runs given up to Thebe. And Florence has their biggest lead of the series now, 8-3. Blomquist does extend that hitting streak to 12 games. Driving in 3 runs, his RBI total now at 69. He stands on second base with 2 outs for Hank Zeisler. First pitch a little high for ball 1. Zeisler has a single and 3 walks already today. He's reached 4 times after going 4 for 5 yesterday. Outside. So Thebe's day finishes with a line of 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. 4 earned runs ties his season high. He had a game where he gave up 4 earned runs on July 17th against Windy City. 2-1 now to Zeisler. Well, Zeisler, after struggling in the first game of the series back on Friday, 0 for 4 with a couple strikeouts, he's really turned it around here over the course of the next 2 games this weekend. Fouls one back to the netting, and now it's a 2-2. Zeisler will call his hitter's timeout here. Windy City's losing, Washington is losing. So if the Otters drop this one, still won't necessarily be too bad. There'll still be 3.5 games up in the division. But the 4-run 7th is not ideal for Evansville. 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And Zeisler strikes out for the first time today. First strikeout for Tomczak. 7th overall for Otters pitching. That's out number 3. Time to stretch. 4 runs come in for Florence, and they lead it by 5 on the Otters Digital Network.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back, and we'll root for the Otters. If they don't win, it's a shame. 4 is 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Nicely done. Now let's get some runs. We have a call the bullpen for the Florence Shells today. McAvoy in the pitch. McAvoy on the mound. Harbison behind the plate. It's powered by the Cancer Auto Repair East at 2319 North McGarrone. 12475 9000. Tell them. Sing for the Otters. Sing you.
Seventh inning is brought to you by Jacob's Pub. Jacob's Pub is proud to support the Evansville Otters in the Jacobsville neighborhood. Be sure to check out First Fridays at 607 North Main Street. Aiden McAvoy is into the game for Florence. First time we've seen him today, or I guess today and in this series. The usual closer leads the team and the league in saves, 19 of them. But he's coming in here for the 7th inning, and might be because he hasn't gotten too much play within the past week. His last outing, he threw 2 scoreless with 6 strikeouts on the 18th against Lake Erie. He's been pitching the ball really well, 3.83 ERA in 40 innings as he faces the bottom 3 in the order, Mark Black, Cade Marcourt, and TJ Salvaggio. A little high, and it's 2-0 to Mark Black. McAvoy has given up 34 hits, 17 earned runs, 25 walks compared to 53 strikeouts this season. Another one misses high, and it's ball 3. 5th time he's pitching against the Otters this season. Hasn't necessarily been pitching the greatest against Evansville. 3-0 will miss. Last outing against Evansville for McAvoy, he gave up 4 earned runs in an inning and 2/3. I need more than 4 to get past Florence right now as they're down 5. A good start, though, as Mark Black will take the walk to lead off the 7th inning.
Thanks to Tierhead, Sidewalk, Cafe, and Bar. Just a
Walk
heads up,
brought to you by
tip
Deerhead
box.
Sidewalk Cafe and Bar. Leadoff man
$3
reaches.
for Dippin' Dots.
Only the second time the leadoff man has reached for Evansville. The first one was the Lynn Scott home run.
The catcher,
Webster finishes his day with 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and 11 strikeouts, a new season high for him. First pitch is called a strike to Marcourt. "20 scoreless appearances so far for McAvoy. Grounder past the dive of Zeisler into right field for a base hit. Mark Black is heading first to third, and runners are at the corners with nobody out to start the bottom of the 7th. So Marcourt picks up his first hit of the day. Salvaggio with a chance to lessen the deficit here in the 7th. Nate Wolgamuth in the bullpen for Evansville. Salvaggio has a single, came around to score in the 3rd inning, struck out swinging in the 4th. A little high. Was the 7th of 11 Ks for Webster. Gonzalez on the other side, 4 1/3, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 walks, and 5 strikeouts as Salvaggio takes strike 1. It's been a very tense series between these two teams. Otters trying to make things a little bit more interesting here. There's a fly ball into center field. Cole Brannon backs up a few feet, makes the catch. Mark Black comes in to score, and TJ Salvaggio with a sac fly makes it 8-4. So that'll bring up the top of the order in Amani Jones.
Number 12, Amani Jones.
Otters get a run back. Still down 4, though, here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Another earned run, though, given up by McAvoy against Evansville this season. First pitch to Jones is a little inside. McAvoy was with Joliet last season. Pitched in 1 game against the Otters, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts. Was a starter last season with the Slammers. Called a strike, and it's 1-1. McAvoy, 25-year-old from Downingtown, Pennsylvania. He's from the same place. No, he's not. I thought he was from the same place as Tommy Shirley. Tommy Shirley's from North Huntington. His Pennsylvania place is all the same. Outside, it's 2-1. Monty Jones from Pennsylvania. Throw back to first is not in time. Lebanon, Pennsylvania. 2-1 from McAvoy. Inside for ball 3. McAvoy not really able to locate here to start off the bottom of the 7th. Walks Mark Black, and he came around to score already. Runner on first here in Marcourt. 3-1. Down the line, look out bullpen over there. Makes it 3-2.
Out for foul balls. As you can tell, they can travel at very fast speeds.
Monty Jones 1 for 3 so far today, has a single in the third, strikeout in the first, a grounder to third in the fifth inning. He has only 2 games that McAvoy does with multiple earned runs given up, but one of them was against Evansville. Season high 4 earned runs given up on that June 28th day, as that will miss inside for ball 4. 2 walks in this inning for McAvoy, and Amani Jones will take first base. Marquardt to second, and that'll bring up Marcos Gonzalez. First pitch to Marcos is called a strike. Gonzalez so far is 0 for 2. 2 strikeouts, but he hit a sac fly in the third inning. Ended up scoring Salvaggio from third. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Gonzalez usually a pretty good hitter against left-handed pitching. Best on the team that is actually playing on the team right now. He's just behind Pierce and Ponder. Neither of them are in the lineup today. 0-2, and that hits him. So 3 straight free passes given up by McAvoy, and that will load the bases and put the tying run up to the plate in Blake Robertson. Hey, man, all of a sudden, back in things here. We're going to have a mound visit here. Toby Hall coming to the mound, and all the infield joining him. 2 grand slams this season for the Otters. I feel like the Otters this week have had the bases loaded a decent amount of times. Robertson has a single. Drove in a run in the third inning, but he also has a couple of strikeouts as well. With the bases loaded, he's 1 for 6. Just the 1 hit. Also has a couple of walks and 3 strikeouts. Marquardt at third. Jones at second. Gonzalez at first. Robertson, the tying run at the plate here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And that will hit him. So 4 free passes given up by McAvoy, and that one will bring in a run. Not too sure what's going on with McAvoy. He's just not able to locate anything right now. That will make it 8-5. And LG Castillo, who drove in the go-ahead run in the game yesterday, is the go-ahead run in this one. Florence is going to get somebody warming real quick. McAvoy's woes against the Otters continue here today. Jet Lotus back out there in the bullpen for Florence. First pitch to LG is inside for ball 1. So Otters have brought in 2 runs here in the 7th. They've made it a 3-run game yet again, 8-5. 1-0 pitch is high for ball 2. LG's 1 for 3 as a base hit. Grounder back to Webster and a fly out to right field. 2-0 is going to miss inside for ball 3. And McAvoy is still unable to locate here. Walk would make it 8-6. And might be the end of the day for McAvoy unless they want him to face the lefty and Quitzer. There's a strike, and it's 3-1. Time called here. Bases loaded, 1 out. 8-5. Florence has the lead, but Castillo can really make things interesting here in the bottom of the 7th with 2 runs already in. There's a base hit into right field. 1 run scores. Here comes Gonzalez. Throw to the plate is late, and it gets past Harbison. Both runners will advance, and the go-ahead run is in scoring position. It's 8-7. It might be happening again. 4 runs in the 7th, and it's back to a 1-run game. That will do it for McAvoy. With Florence up 5. Heading into the bottom half, it's now down to 1 yet again, and the go-ahead run is at second base. The Otters looking for another magical comeback against Florence here at Bosse Field. We'll be right back.
Call to the bullpen for Florence, 22 Jet Lotus in to pitch. Lotus on the mound, Harbison behind the plate. Powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East. 23-1900 Brody, 12475 9000.
So for the 3rd time this season and the 2nd time against Evansville, Aiden McAvoy has given up 4 earned runs in an outing. And it has made it a 1-run game. It could get even worse as the runners on 2nd and 3rd are his responsibility as well. So it could be a new season high, and it is a 1-run game. The tying run is at 3rd now in Robertson. The go-ahead run is at 2nd in LG Castillo, who drives in multiple runs for the 4th straight game and comes together with another clutch hit to bring 2 runs in. And now it is up to Chris Quitzer against the new pitcher, Jet Lotus. Jet Lotus pitched on Friday, an inning and a 3rd scoreless. He has a 2.52 ERA in 25 innings. That one's going to get past Harbison. Here comes the tying run, and he's safe at the plate. It is 8-8 here in the 7th. Florence scores 4 in the top of the 7th, and the Otters respond with 5 in the bottom half. And we are back knotted up at 8 apiece. LG moves to 3rd. The Otters 90 feet away from taking the lead here in the 7th. Fly ball into left field. Running after it is Brodell. He's not going to get there, and it lands in fair territory. LG comes in. Chris Quitzer gives the Otters the lead. Took 1 inning for the Otters to come back and take the lead. 6 runs in the bottom of the 7th. And it is 9-8 Evansville. This team is special, man. Looked dead and buried after the 4-run 7th inning. And any sort of comeback is doable for them. They were down 8 once, came back to win. They've been down 6 already against Florence this season, came back to win. 5 is nothing. 8-3, no problem. Get rid of that lead in 1 inning. Outside, it's 1-1 to Linscott. There's still only 1 out, by the way. The last 5 have reached. This inning has gone walk, single, sac, fly, walk, hit by pitch, and then single double to bring in 6 runs. 1-1 is called a strike. So McAvoy finishes now with a third of an inning, 2 hits, 6 earned runs, a new season high for him. 2 walks and no strikeouts, as well as 2 hit by pitches. Fouled away, and it's going to remain at 1-2. All of a sudden, Otters are 6 outs away from sweeping Florence. One-two to Linscott. Another one fouled away. Foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. So even with the 6-run comeback, it's still looking like Nate Wolgemuth is out there, warming in the bullpen. See if Wolgemuth can get some high leverage ball here. 1-2, outside. There's no double play here. The Otters will have batted around. This is the 9th man to come to the plate for Evansville here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2-2. That'll get past Harbison. Quitzer was halfway to third, but he stopped and had to go back to second base. And now there's multiple balls on the field.
Where did that come from?
There's a lot going on there. I'm pretty sure Quitzer couldn't really make up his mind on if he wanted to go to third or not. It was halfway to third when Harbison had the ball. Possibly could have made it, but decided against it. Went with the safe option. And then the umpire and Harbison both threw the ball back to the pitcher at the same time. 3-2 from Lotus. That's a base hit into center field. Here comes Quitzer. It is 10-8. Sam Linscott continues the hit parade.
I smell that pizza.
A 7-run 7th inning. Their season high is 8. They scored 8 runs in an inning back on the 8th of July against Gateway. Chance to do it here. First pitch to Mark Black is high and in for ball 1. This has been an inning that is taking forever, but luckily it has brought the Otters now 2 ahead of Florence, 10-8. Another one in the dirt. That one is blocked by Harbison, and it will keep Linscott at first base. Mark Black led off this inning with a walk, came around to score, and since then, there has only been 1 out recorded, the sac fly from Salvaggio. Everybody else has managed to reach. So even the out brought a run in. As it's 2-0. That one misses a little outside. Called a strike. Mark Black so far 0 for 2 with that walk. Black, Marquardt, Jones, Gonzalez, Robertson, Castillo, Quitzer have all scored. That will miss, and it's ball 4. So Mark Black has walked twice in this inning. Marquardt up for the second time in this inning. Hit a single earlier. Came around to score. Possible we might see a second pitching change in this inning. First pitch to Mark Court is fouled away. 1 for 3 so far for Mark Court today. As a strikeout and a grounder to second base. Another lefty warming in the bullpen. And very quickly warming as well. That one is also going to get past Harbison, and both runners will take second and third. This has been a rough inning for Florence, to say the least. It's C.J. Blowers who's warming in the bullpen for Florence. One is going to miss for ball 2. Infield is in yet again here. Otters have brought in 7 runs in the 7th inning and have gone from down 8-3 to up 10-8 in the matter of 30 minutes. Swing and a miss. Bat goes over to Baker at short. This whole bat flinging thing is contagious, apparently. Marquardt just joined the team and he's doing it now. I don't know how this keeps happening. It transfers to the new guys, too. It is just insane. Either way, now 2-2 to Marquardt. 2-2 from Lotus. There's a fly ball into deep center field. Brannon's on the move, and he makes the catch. Both runners are going to tag. Scoring is Lynn Scott, and it's 11-8. Taking third is Mark Black. The Otters have tied their season high 8 runs in an inning this season, and it is now a 3-run Otters lead. Forget the 8th inning yesterday. This might be the biggest inning of the season for the Otters. First pitch to Salvaggio is a swing and a miss. 2 sac flies have been the first 2 outs in this inning. Otherwise, let's take a look. After this pitch, actually. We'll take a look after this pitch. As Lotus kicks and deals inside. It's been walk, single, sac fly, walk, hit by pitch, single, double, single, walk, sac fly. That's where we're at right now. This is the 12th man to hit in this inning for Evansville. 1-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. We're having fun now. We're having a lot of fun. Pitching staff has been really letting Florence down in this series, though. Particularly the bullpen. Little outside, it's 2-2. The bullpen has had some fair struggles for Florence over the course of the year, but I think it's really coming to a head in this series. A little high, and it's 3-2. The relievers don't have too much worse of an ERA than starters for the Yalls this season. 635 to 626 coming into today's game, but it's just been a full collapse in this series. So that's a grounder foul. McAvoy threw 25 pitches. That was the 25th pitch from Lotus. It's been a 50-pitch inning for Florence between 2 guys. Payoff yet again is inside for ball 4. And the nightmare inning continues for Florence. Here comes Toby Hall. Talking one side of the spectrum compared to the other. While this is the best inning of the season for Evansville, this might be the worst inning of the season for Florence. As we'll see if CJ Blowers wants to come into this game here. Otherwise, might just be a normal mound visit. Lotus is out. Second pitching change of the inning. Otters have scored 8 in the 7th, tied their season high, and they now lead it by 3 as the top of the lineup comes up with runners at the corners. As we'll be right back on the Otters Digital Network.
Call the bullpen, CJ Blowers in the pitch. Blowers is on the mound. Harbison still behind the plate. Pitch catcher batteries powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs in the Answer Auto Repair East. 2319 Brody 12475. 9,000. Tell them St. The Otters sent you. Now enjoy some junk food from Mellencamp.
Well, it's been an inning for sure. It's been an inning. 12 runs have come in this inning between both sides. There's been 9 free passes given up. The Otters, though, they're up by 3. It's 11-8. They scored 8 runs so far in the 7th. The inning's still not over. We just have our second pitching change of the day, or of the inning. Jet loads out, and coming in is CJ Blowers. They'll look to finally try and get that third out and send things to the 8th inning. But this has been a long inning. We are almost 3 hours in, and we're still in the 7th. Blowers, 29 years old. He's from Graham, Washington. He has a 4.15 ERA in 26 innings, 30 hits, 12 earned runs, 12 walks, and 11 strikeouts. He threw 4 scoreless in his last outing back on the 19th against Lake Erie. He's usually a starter, but I guess is coming out of the bullpen today. Monty Jones up with runners at the corners. Mark Black at third, TJ Salvaggio at first, both of them on via the walk. 6 free passes have been given to the Otters in this inning. 4 walks and 2 hit by pitches as Salvaggio will run. Throw to second base is not in time, and TJ will take his second base of the day. 21st of the season, 21 for 21. The Otters have not had a 10-run inning this season. 1 single could change that. 1-0. Misses high and away for ball 2. This is the 13th Otter to step up to the plate in this inning. Monty Jones came around to score earlier in this frame. 2-0. There's a liner into left field. That's going to be caught out there by Brodell for out number 3. What can we say about this inning that has not been said already? 8 runs come in. It was 8-3 heading into the bottom of the 7th. It is now 11-8 Otters heading to the 8th on the Otters Digital Network.
The following is a sumo match scheduled for one fall, brought to you by Robert's Comfort Food. In the red, we got Marcy. In the blue, we got Cliff. First one to knock the other one over is your winner. Contestants, are you ready? Sumo! Oh, down he goes, your winner. Catcher Battery is powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East. 2319 North River Road. Give them a call at 812-475-9000. Tell them same from the Otters and you.
Top of the 8th inning. That was an hour-long 7th. 12 runs, a lot of walks. There's a lot of everything, really. But the Otters are on top now, 11-8 after an 8-run 7th inning, ties their season high. Nate Wolgemuth is into the game, now in high leverage because of the Otters' comeback. If this score holds, it will be the 5th time this season that the Otters come back from down 4 or more runs. First time since June 17th against Lake Erie. That was when they were down 5-0 in the first inning, and they ended up winning 18-9. Time called of a pitch clock violation on Wolgemuth to make it 1-0 against Richardson, who's leading off. It's Richardson, Bobo, and Broussard, as Florence now finds themselves down 3 after a very wild 7th inning. Called a strike, and it's 1-1. "19 runs scored in this game, only 16 hits. Mississippi has 20 runs. It's 20-9. What is going on, man? There's a base hit into left field, and Richardson leads off the top of the 8th with a single.
Right fielder 3, Brendan Bobo.
Mississippi has 20 runs on 19 hits, and it's the 7th inning. They still have more opportunities to score. 5 runs in the first, 2 in the second, 7 in the 4th, and 6 in the 6th. It's going to be a football score between the New Orleans Saints and the Toronto Argonauts. Oscar Serratos is going to pinch hit for Richardson. Now, the same thing happened yesterday with Serratos and Richardson, and happening again today. I think they're just trying to do a little precautionary stuff with the lingering injury for Zaid. Serratos at first base with nobody out for Brendan Bobo. First pitch misses outside. Serratos came in as a pinch hit runner yesterday as well and ended up scoring a run. Wolgemuth, a 4.5 ERA in 10 innings, 5 walks, 10 strikeouts. He pitched back on Thursday through a scoreless inning against Washington with a strikeout. It's now 3-0 against Brendan Bobo. 3-0 pitch is going to miss for ball 4. So 4-pitch walk to Bobo. Puts 2 on with nobody out. Now for Garrett Broussard.
Third baseman 5, Garrett Broussard.
So another walk issued by Otters pitching. There's been a lot of free passes issued on both sides. Overall, as we'll have a mound visit. 9th walk issued by Otters pitching on the other side. Just 5 for Florence, but they have hit a couple of guys as well. The Otters have hit 3 guys, so they've given up 12 free passes today. Still find themselves up by 3. Broussard is 2 for 4. He has a homer, a single. Both of those drove in runs. And also a grounder to short and a fly out to center. Otters probably going to have to use all the stops here in terms of the bullpen. Chase Cribble is out warming in the bullpen for Evansville, as that one's way high and inside. Drops Broussard to the ground for ball one. Popped up on the bunt, but not able to get there is Marcourt. And it's 1-1. Looked like Serratos was trying to attempt a double steal at second base with Bobo at first, but didn't end up going. Have to probably monitor that if you're Wolgemuth and the Otters. We've seen a double steal already. That was back in the first inning from Blomquist and Zeisler. 1-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Wolgemuth locating a lot better in this at-bat than the last one against Bobo. Bobo walking for the second time, reaching for the fourth time overall in today's game. 1-2. Swing and a miss for strike three. Wolgemuth picks up his first strikeout, the 8th for the Otters, and that's out number 1 in the top of the 8th inning. Oh, this is one of those games where everybody in the lineup has reached base on both sides. Everybody in the lineup reached base in the 7th inning alone for Evansville. First and second with one out now for Marcus Brodell. First pitch is called a strike. Brodell has a walk. That's the only time he's reached, though. He's 0 for 3. Fly out to right field, a strikeout looking, and a grounder to second base. Wolgemuth trying to get a scoreless 8th and put the Otters oh so closer to sweeping Florence. The 0-1. Foul tip, and it's 0-2. Would be 60 or 56 wins if the Otters can pull this one off. 0-2. Just outside. Fastball at 95. As Wolgemuth is really slinging it today. Serratos at second, Bobo at first. The 1-2. Hey, got him swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Wolgemuth. 9 for the Otters. And there are 2 down for Dylan Baker.
Shortstop, 6, Dylan Baker.
Dylan Baker trying to keep the Otters' lead intact here. So dancing off a second base from Serratos. The first pitch to Baker is going to miss inside. So Lotus finishes his day. Third of an inning, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks. 1-0. Swing and a miss for Baker, and it's a 1-1 count, 1 ball, 1 strike. That was 94 that time on the fastball. Gets him to whiff high and inside. First 2 reached here on the single for Richardson and the walk to Bobo. Now to back-to-back strikeouts, and Wolgemuth's trying to get out of things here in the 8th inning. 1-1. Inside, and that will hit Baker. That's the second straight time Baker's been hit with a pitch. So that is the 4th hit by pitch of the day by Otters pitching. Bases loaded with 2 outs for Kyle Harbison. 3 hours and 5 minutes into this one. First pitch from Wolgamuth is called a strike. Good breaking ball from Nate, and it's 0-1. So now it is Serratos at third, Bobo at second, Baker at first. The 0-1 is a foul ball over to the bullpen. It was a really inside pitch that Harbison was able to turn on but not get fair. It's 0-2. Wolgamuth just needs one more strike here to keep things at an 11-8 game. Seen a lot of base runners, though, for both sides. The 0-2. Got him swinging! 3 strikeouts in the 8th for Wolgamuth, and he strands the bases loaded. Still 11-8 Otters as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning on the Otters Digital Network.
Otters fans, it's time for the Legend Sip brought to you by A-Sip Pizza. Over by the first base side, we have 3 local legends, Evan the Otter, Benjamin Mossy, and William Henry Harrison. They're going to race around the warning track. The first one to cross the finish line is your winner. Make your choices. Choose them wisely. You ready, legends? Set, go! Oh, look at Evan go. Uh-oh. Harrison's making a run for it. No, Evan, the Otter is your winner.
Eighth innings brought to you by McMahon Exterminating. Remember, who can help with all your pest control needs? McMahon can. 11-8, Evansville here in the bottom of the 8th inning as they look to extend their lead against CJ Blowers, who's back out there for another inning of work. Through an inning, or a third of an inning, nothing going for him. Webster had a fantastic outing. He threw a quality start, but now it's 11-8. It's been a crazy game. McAvoy gave up 6 earned. Lotus gave up 2 in that inning, and now the Otters are up 3. Blowers, 4.15 ERA and 26 innings, was with the Pioneer League earlier this season with the Oakland Ballers. It'll be Marcos Gonzalez, Blake Robertson, and LG Castillo leading off. Blowers, another lefty out of the pen here for Florence. First pitch is going to miss high for ball 1. Gonzalez is 0 for 2. He has a sac fly, though, and a hit by pitch. Came around to score in the 7th inning. Little outside, and it's 2-0. 7.05 ERA and 44 2/3 innings for Blowers with the Oakland Ballers earlier this year. Slow curveball is called a strike. 11 runs, 9 hits. No errors for Evansville. 8 runs, 8 hits. No errors for Florence. Ground ball up the middle. It's bobbled at second base by Blomquist, and Gonzalez will reach. See what they call that, a base hit or an error. I'm leaning towards base hit, but I'm not the scorer.
First baseman, number 31, Blake Robertson.
Well, either way, runner on first with nobody out for Blake Robertson. Lefty against Blowers, his first pitch. And is called a strike. Well, Blowers didn't play baseball from 2019 to 2024. That was after his junior year of college at CSU San Bernardino. Got multiple odd jobs. He was at a pizza place. He was building houses. He worked in truss design for a little bit. So that one is outside. He kind of got back into baseball, though, on the umpiring side. Pitching lessons as well as coaching got him back into baseball, so he decided to come back and play. It's called a strike. He ended up with Ottawa in 2024. He pitched with the Seattle Blackfins of the Pacific International League. Pitched a 10 2/3 innings complete game, 161 pitches at the NBC World Series, and Ottawa decided to pick him up. Is with them, had a ERA of .87 in 31 innings for them. Fly ball into center field. Brannon is there, and he'll make the catch for out number 1, as heading back to first base is Gonzalez.
Designated hitter, number 6, LG Castillo.
So that will be called an error, by the way. That Gonzalez hit an E4 that has Gonzalez at first base. Now with 1 out for LG Castillo. Called a strike. And Blowers went to Joliet for last season. 2.71 ERA and 93 innings pitched. A fantastic season before heading to the Pioneer League. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. He's been traded a lot this year. Traded from Joliet to Ottawa on March 16th for Alfredo Villa. Didn't play with Ottawa in 2026. Got traded to Oakland the next day for a player to be named later. And then got traded from Oakland to Florence for Ahmad Harajli, who we saw face off against the Otters earlier this season. 0-2. Ground ball, base hit into left field. LG Castillo picks up his 3rd hit of the day. And there's 2 on with 1 out for Chris Quitzer.
Left fielder, number 9, Chris Quitzer.
Chance to extend the lead further. The Otters need 3 outs. And it looks like Joe Morrissey is looking to get those 3 outs. Serta's pitched both games in this series already, so he's probably just getting some rest. Got his 18th save of the season yesterday. First pitch to Quitzer is called a strike. For Blowers, he was with Edmonds Community College in 2016, redshirted in 2017, but played in the West Coast League with the Cowlitz Black Bears. Grounder over to first base. Zeisler will tag the bag. Throw to second base is in time as the tag was applied by Baker, and it's a double play that will end the 8th inning. It's a 3-6 DP, and that will do it for the bottom of the 8th. But the Otters are 3 outs away from sweeping Florence and taking a 5.5 game lead for the first wild card. We'll be right back on the Otters Digital Network.
They're open till 8. You can get your fill here. We've got 2 teams here on the field, obviously. Let's see, on our right, we've got Kylie and Kaylee. On the left, we got Madison and Ruby. Good old game of tug of war. This green piece of yarn, first team to get it across the line there on the coach's box will be your winner. Ladies ready? Set, go!
Joe Morrissey in to pitch. Morrissey's on the mound. Marcourt behind the plate. It's powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs the Answer Auto Repair East at 2319 North River Road, 812-475-9000. Don't let skin damage slide into your home. Doctors Fred Austin and Neil Gareth and Newberg Dermatology are your MVPs for healthy skin. Proud sponsor of today's game. Skip the line and make for the comfort of your own home with self-service options of Heritage. Heritage proud partner of Evansville Otters baseball. And this is the Man Exterminating Outfit. Remember, hooking up with all your pest control needs, McMahon can. Top of the order to you.
Don't look now, but Washington has lost again to Joliet. So if the Otters win this game, they're going to be 2 games back of the division. And the magic number will drop down to 5. Windy City is losing 9-3. Could drop to 4 if Gateway ends up winning that one. It's 9-3, so it's looking quite likely. But they did have a big comeback yesterday. Gateway did, so you never know. You never know. Joe Morrissey is into the game, trying to get the last 3 outs to clinch a Otters sweep of Florence. As the first pitch is going to miss for ball 1 to Cole Brandon. Morrissey has a 4.1 ERA in 41 2/3 innings. As that one is called a strike, makes it 1-1. He's facing the top 3 in the order, Brandon Blomquist and Zeisler. He pitched back on Friday, an inning and a third, gave up 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. It's the 3rd time he's pitching against Florence this season. Cole Brandon so far today, 0 for 4. Walked in a run in the 7th inning, ended up coming around to score himself. 1-2. Breaking ball just misses outside, and it's 2-2. Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Strikeout number 11 for Otters pitching, and that's the first out in the top of the 9th.
Second baseman, 12, Brett Blomquist.
Brett Blomquist hit a 3-run double in the 7th inning, ended up making it an 8-3 game before the Otters scored 8 runs in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch, a ball a little outside. That was Blomquist's only hit so far today, as that will miss inside this time for ball 2. Blomquist has reached 3 times the double, a hit by pitch and a walk today. Also has a strikeout and a flyout to right field. 2-0 for Morrissey. Will miss for ball 3. Morrissey, 14 walks to 46 strikeouts this season. That will miss low for ball 4. 4-pitch walk issued to Blomquist. It's the 10th walk issued by Otters pitching, which ties their season high. They walked 10 back on June 4th against Mississippi, which is the record tying for the season. Throwback to first is not in time. 5 walks from Gonzalez, 2 from Zentko, 1 from Thebe, 1 from Wolgamuth, and now 1 from Morrissey. It's now 23-9 Mississippi, by the way. Apparently Tevis Payne is 6 for 6. So we have another 6-hit game. Broussard's not the only one. 1-0 pitch to Zeisler. Outside for ball 2. Just in case, Florence does have somebody warming up in the bullpen. They don't have their regular closer right now. Danny Heinz, the last man we have not seen yet in the bullpen, is warming. 2-0 from Morrissey. There's a strike, and it's 2-1. Two one here from Morrissey. Foul tip into the glove, and it's 2-2. Chance to get out number 2 here. Any ground ball as well could end the game here. The 2-2 to Zeisler. Fouled back. Just barely got a piece of that one to stay alive. We'll do it again. Morrissey has a strikeout in 25 of 28 appearances, now 26 of 29 after his strikeout of Brandon to start the 9th. Nearly 3.5 hours into this one. It has been an insane back and forth affair. It's kind of how the Otters have been playing against Florence all season, especially here at home. Always find a way to win games. They're looking to go 6-0 at home against the Yalls this season. There's a ground ball to second base, flipped to short for 1, on to first. Double play and the Otters win. Evansville sweeps Florence, and they are 5.5 games up in the first wild card. Magic number down to 5. A huge week of baseball against Washington and Florence, and the Otters answered the call. They go 5-1. Sweep Florence here at home. They're 6-0. They finish at home against Florence. Finished 9-3 against him in the season series. And this one, the biggest of them all, the 8-run 7th inning carries them to a win. They are now 56-34. As with Washington's loss, they are now only 2 games back in the Central Division. As a wise man once said, objects in the mirror are closer than they appear, and Washington's feeling the pressure. They just lost a series against Joliet, and now we'll see what the Otters can do in Schaumburg starting on Tuesday. If the Windy City Thunderbolts lose, which right now it's 9-3 in the 9th, that magic number will drop down to 4, and the Otters can clinch on Wednesday. What a series for the guys, though. Absolutely insane. They had a couple of comebacks, but none as big as this one today against Florence. When they really needed a win, they needed a sweep. They had already won the series, but a sweep would just add to the momentum. They scored 8 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning, tied their season high, and there was just so much going on in that inning. It was 8 runs, 4 hits, 4 walks, 2 hit by pitches, and it went from an 8-3 game to an 11-8 game in the span of less than an hour. Otters finished with 11 runs, 11 hits, no errors. On the other side, Florence, 8 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. Take a look at the pitching. The bullpen was great. Zenko, Tomzak, Wogelmuth, Morrissey. Thebe gave up those 4 runs, but the Otters offense picked them up in the end. Everybody got a base hit. Everybody reached base. 2 RBI from Lynn Scott, Castillo, and Robertson. Castillo had a 3-hit day. Lynn Scott had a multi-hit game. Everybody was eaten. It's just, this is, in the biggest series of the season, the Otters swept the Florence Yalls. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. The Otts are hot. They have never been hotter. It is impossible to be as hot as the Otts are right now. And hopefully they continue to be hot on Tuesday. Game 1 of 3 against Schaumburg. That's at 6:30 Central Standard Time. But for everybody here at Bosse Field, enjoy tonight. Enjoy the off day tomorrow. Hey, I'm Evan Patoka. It has been a wild week, but we have more to come. And hopefully next week we clinch a playoff spot. We'll see you then.